Another Youshoot, only the bravest and most provocative, and you know they come no more brave or provocative than the guy next to me here, New Jack. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for agreeing to answer it all. Trying to get the red off your shoulder? You trying to get the red off your shoulder?
Yeah, I'm trying to get them. Yeah.
Thank you for agreeing to answer it all.
It's fucking A, dude.
It's not easy to face your public.
I ain't facing them motherfuckers. They on computer.
As evidenced by our first video.
I hit the end button. This whole show will be over just like that.
Big Sexy.
Show's over.
Yo, Kayfabe, Commentaries once again. Big Sexy's here. My question for New Jack is this: I want you to elaborate a little bit on ECW. Did you ever have any trouble getting paid? I know a lot of checks bounce with ECW.
How you know that?
What was your greatest?
Can he hear me?
ECW? Who was it with?
He can't hear me?
No.
He can't hear me?
No, he can't hear me.
Well, I'm not talking to them if they can't hear me because I want to talk because they're asking me.
Well, they're watching. They're watching on the camera. There you go. Trouble with the checks, ECW.
I don't remember. It was fucking so fucking long ago. I don't remember. I was selling drugs at the time, so if my check got bounced, I make my money back. I don't fucking remember if I might have had some bounce shit. But I was writing bad checks right back.
Madness. Get ready for madness, Jack.
If I got a bad check, then I'll write somebody else the same check and have them deposit the mother. The fuck wrong with you?
Him? I think there's a lot wrong with him. From the looks of it. Let's
Go ahead.
What's happening, Spanish babies? Chicago Bulls, NHS, Marlins, World Series baseball champ.
Look at that.
I'm Jack Rabbit, you piece of shit. I'm 9'7" × 500 pounds in your face. WWE Sumo Wrestling. Me, Yokozuna, Dragon out of Kiss. You can't fucking see me, nigga.
Oh my God.
Let me ask you that. What was your toughest match? And with who was it?
Hold on, bro.
ECW, piece of shit.
What was your toughest match, he asked?
Hold up. First he called me nigga. Then I'm a piece of shit. And here's some country redneck fucking hick out in the woods smelling like monkey nuts. And I'm supposed to answer that? Dude, he can put my nuts on his mama's forehead. Fuck that redneck motherfucker. And his goddamn pickup truck. Fuck him. I ain't answering shit. He gonna call me a nigga? His mama called me nigga when I had her bent over with my dick in her mouth. Call me no motherfucking nigga. The fuck?
So he was white? I thought maybe it was like a nigga kind of thing. Like.
No, ain't no nigga.
Yeah, alright, so it was okay. It was the whole deal.
Hold on. Piece of shit and nigga in the same sentence. And you want to answer out of me?
You don't have to answer anything.
That motherfucker's a result of an abortion. He's a result of an abortion that went bad. Next time, tell his mama to use the long coat hanger. Use the whole coat hanger to scrape that part right there. That's what she left in the motherfucking pussy. They should have got that part too. Fuck that fat motherfucker.
Hope you got the answer you were looking for, Madness. Thank you.
Call
wherever you are, the
nigga,
backwoods.
You motherfucking hillbilly ass fucking piece of shit.
All right, let's try something. Let's try something from Jimmy James.
God damn, I ain't gonna be too many.
New Jack.
What?
Your career was forever linked with ECW. It's a territory that was known for hardcore wrestling, for, kind of a stiffer Japanese sort of style, a lot of weapons, all that shit. Now, there was a lot of tag teams when you and Mustafa were around, like the Pitbulls and the Eliminators and such, that kind of boasted a tough guy, stiff attitude when they were in the ring. Now, you worked these guys, you worked a lot of tag teams. Were any of these guys actually kind of pussies? They said they were stiff, they cut promos like they were these badasses, but were there any of these teams that were scared to get in the ring with you, were worried about you being too stiff, didn't want to take your moves, didn't want to take your weapons like tables and shit? Come on, let us know.
Take your weapons.
Who are the fucking pussies?
All right, who are the pussies, I think, is the question.
Now see, that's a legit question.
All right.
That's a legit question from a motherfucker that can count to 10 and he ain't got to do it by fives. You understand?
Word.
I'm still stuck on that hillbilly fucking hick, that fucking cow fucking sheep fucker, you fucking nut licker. Okay.
They're pussies.
Alright,
guys try to come across as hard asses, but we're
of course you can be internet gangsters. Fuck these cocksuckers. But anyway, people that was legit pussies in the locker room who people thought was tough motherfuckers.
Right.
Legitimately. Legitimately.
Yeah.
Taz, pussy. That little short motherfucker had everybody fooled. He had people thinking that he was this. Oh, I'm from fucking Red Hook. Whatever. They even did a piece on him on WWE talking about he was from Red Hook, some fucking where a tough guy. That bullshit ass cocksucker ain't no. Taz was before Taz got dyed orange. Taz was a fat little chubby white boy with a goddamn afro puff that came up like this. White boy. He's a fucking pussy. Bubba Ray, pussy. They was the motherfuckers from the goddamn from the suburbs of New York, way up in the hills where it was real pretty. Well, you ain't had no niggas riding around doing drive-bys and killing motherfuckers and selling drugs and all that shit. They saw the shit on the news. Bubba Ray, bitch. Taz, bitch. Those are the first two people that come to my mind because a lot of people think that these are like legitimately tough motherfuckers and they played the game. Burp, come out the mouth, you know what they've been doing. Down on their knees, sucking Paulie's dick. That's what they were. Them motherfuckers those are the two top motherfuckers in that locker room who had everybody fooled. They were straight hoes.
Taz had the Brooklyn Twitch though, didn't he?
He had that Mike Tyson shit going on. And that's why, I mean, you think about Tyson did it when he first came in. And after Tyson started getting his ass stung, that fucking Twitch got straightened up. It didn't do it no more. You know what I'm saying?
Costin Holly's memories of Public Enemy, he wants to know.
Oh. Now?
Yeah, this was just an emailed question. So
I don't get a video.
No video.
I was waiting on some motherfucker
No.
with an 8-ball to my. Woo, God, let me see. Memories of Public Enemy. Okay, Gary Wolf had this chick named Tina who he was screwing. And he kind of passed her down to me or passed her over to me. And I started screwing. Well, the bitch was on steroids. So one night I showed up at a house drunk. I fucked her. And then the next day, I woke up from a hangover and I saw this bitch standing there drying with a towel and it looked like Gary from the back. She looked just like Gary Wolf did from the back. I was like, I didn't fuck Gary. I was like, it was the pit bull, and she had a towel on, she was drying, and honest to God, this bitch, I swear to God, and I called Gary and told him, I said, dude, I just left Tina's house. I said, and that bitch was in the living room drying off with a towel, and I said, I swear to God, Gary, I thought it was you. He thought this shit was fucking funny. Goddamn Anthony. Terry Funk Banquet. No, before that. First time I did coke. Kane. I'm at a bar. Delilah's. I'm drunk as a motherfucker. And I'm sitting there and Sandman's ex-wife was sitting across the bar. And I'm like holding on to this fucking pole. And I'm just like about to fall the fuck. I'm like, what the fuck? And I saw Peaches and then she said, well, talk to Gary. I talked to Anthony. So I talked to Anthony. I said, what's up, man? I said, Anthony. He said, Jackie, you drunk? I said, yeah, man. I said, I'm about to throw the fuck up. He said, well, come on, let's go in the bathroom. I said, no, I ain't that motherfucking drunk. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? He said, no. He said, come on, I got something for you. So we go in the bathroom. He pull out this little bag of fucking coke. And I knew what it was. I ain't that fucking stupid. So I snorted it. And I was like, all right. And a few minutes later, excuse me, my drunk went away. And that's when I started doing fucking cocaine.
That was the first time?
That was the first time I did.
That was at the banquet?
No, that was before the banquet.
That was before the banquet.
That was at a club.
Oh, that was at Delilah's.
Yeah, but then at the
advertisement
banquet,
for you.
Yeah, exactly. And then at the banquet, me and Anthony started snorting that shit, and then it became a Terry Funk moment episode where they asked me to cut a promo for Terry Funk for 3 minutes, and 28 minutes later, I was still there cutting the fucking promo. And what I said it had shit to do with Terry Funk. I was putting over me and Mustafa because he wasn't on the first pay-per-view because Paulie was mad at me.
The Assassin, is Todd really God? In Sandman's Youshoot, he told a great story about Todd Gordon and Too Cold Scorpio and some rats. Is that story true? Okay, I guess I should recap. Sandman said that he was snorting some bumps, I believe, and Scorp had a girl straddled. And
you ain't got to tell him, I already know the story. Me and Sabu were walking around.
Pick up the disc if you don't know it. Go.
Me and Sabu was walking around in the Travel Lodge, and it was like a round hotel, right? If you know what I'm saying? So we walking down the hallway, and you kept hearing this, Todd is gone. And I'm like, what the fuck? I said, Sabu. He said, what the fuck is that? I said, well, somebody think Todd gone, I think. So we start banging on the door, like, let us in. We go in that motherfucker. Scorp got this German bitch, legs up over her head. He fucking her. Todd sitting back in the chair with his shit. Fonzie over there with his shit. And I got the lamp and turned the lamp on and held it over the bitch head. And she was like, Todd is gone! Todd is gone! I said, no he ain't, bitch. No he ain't. And we was on in the lamp and he was drilling that bitch. And yes, that night Todd became God.
It happened.
And then Fonzie tried to marry the bitch. See, that's how you just kill rats. I mean, let a rat be a rat. See, I still got rental cars that rats rented for me back in 1995 that I ain't turned the motherfuckers in. They up on the bridge somewhere out in fucking Texas right now if they want them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I got rats' old credit cards and PIN numbers. I got cell phones in a box at the house. I got pagers. Back then I had beepers. I got beepers from rats that bought me.
You don't put a ring on their finger, though. Right? You don't try to marry him.
I put a ring in their finger if they stick their finger in their ass and shit on them. I'm not about to marry one of these
That's what I'm
motherfuckers.
talking
Fuck
about.
no.
Exactly.
I don't marry no goddamn rat.
Exactly.
I tell them, yeah, bitch, let's get married. Fuck it, I love you. When your last name is Bianchi, yeah, I want to marry you, bitch, and she ain't never had a black friend in her life. This bitch moved in with me, bro. And I mean, look, she said, I'm gonna tell you something, and I'll ask you this. The one thing white women to do that I found out in this business, but it's not just in this business, it's just period. But I found out through wrestling what's the one thing white women to do that black women will not do. Come on, we on TV.
Well, in what, in bed or you mean in
What's
life?
the one thing white women will do that black women will not do? And I didn't find out till I started wrestling. Come on.
Buy a man some shit?
Give a nigga they goddamn credit card number and the PIN number.
Close. Oh, right. That was close.
Black woman ain't gonna do it. Well, I found out in this business. After fucking with all these different fucking white bitches. Oh, here go my credit card. Here go my PIN number to the goddamn Mac machine. I'd be like, thank you, bitch.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Me and Curtis Hughes had this bitch. She bought us cell phones. She bought Curtis Hughes a house full of furniture. And when the bitch was out of town, Curtis moved out with the furniture. And we're gone. Got the fuckon.com. He got the fuck on. He was gone. Bitch, buy me shit and just, oh honey, this for me and you. Here, this is. I'll be like, all right, bitch. And then they bring me. It's like that movie with Sidney Poitier. That fucking what is the one?
Guess
Who's coming to dinner?
Yeah, guess who's coming to dinner. That's how I had a moment like that with this bitch. That Steven Richards had the bitch first. Then I had the bitch. Then Devon had her. Devon Dudley. Then he had her. Last name Bianchi. From Jersey. The closest thing she had to somebody being black was if she was like at a mall, walking by somebody. The bitch ain't nowhere near, ain't nothing. But I turned that motherfucker out. And I passed on down to Devon.
You got a PIN number too, didn't you?
I had a PIN number, had the car, I had it all, a house full of furniture, everything. It was done. Sure did, bro. I wasn't fucking around, Mr. Me and Mustafa would go in bars and shit when we hit Smoking Mountain. And goddamn, I'd be like, Mustafa, look, now we ain't got nowhere to stay. I said, so the mission for the night, goddamn it, you go in here and you, bitch, where you live, who you live with. If they stay by themselves, I don't give a fuck if she was crippled, retarded, and halfway fucking crazy. If she had her own fucking house or apartment, we was in. And I would go in there and be like, stop it. We got one. And we had somewhere to stay on the fucking road. And then when that ran out, we went to another one. And another one until we really learned the game and started making money doing this shit. Oh, bro, we worked these motherfuckers to death. I wasn't bullshit.
What was the best territory for that?
And, oh, ECW by far.
Really?
Oh, God.
Philly?
What?
I think they're a little smarter, no?
What? No. They got more money than they would down in fucking Smoky Mountain. See, that's the hills.
That's true.
See, this is South Philly, but we used to have them bitches so motherfucking crazy coming out of Holiday Inn. You think it was like the end of a zombie movie. On Sunday morning, you see all them fucking rats walking out the fucking hotel. Them, where my car? Where the car? And they got the blankets thrown over their head because they been getting hit all fucking week long. Croner's ex-wife. Well, he's dead now, so I mean the bitch is an ex. Stacy from South Philly. That bitch bitch got tossed around like a fucking beach ball. Oh yeah. Yes, she did. And one of the biggest fucking, the funniest moments in that fucking locker room one night, Cronus brought the fucking pictures. What do you call the pictures when the baby still in the
Sonogram.
That. True story. Cronus comes in with the picture. Look. And he's showing everybody. And everybody like, oh. But this was like a long, the pregnancy was like a long way into it. So he went to Paulie, and I'm sitting right there talking to Paulie about the thing, about the show. He said, Paulie, look, here's my baby. And the baby is in his mama's fucking belly. I swear to God, like this. Paulie said, oh, look, just like his daddy. And Cronus said, yeah. And he didn't even get it.
Didn't get it, yeah.
Dude, he never got it. And the story had it for years that New Jack, did you ever fuck Cronus' wife? No, I did not fuck Cronus' wife. I fucked her before they got married.
Right.
But I didn't fuck her as his wife.
It's that keyword wife. You're like a fucking lawyer with your technicalities.
Alright, so exactly. And that was the truth. I never did fuck his wife. It was his fiance.
All right, back to the action. Jimmy James.
New
Mr.
Jack,
Bastard.
huge fan of ECW.
Him
and
again.
Huge fan of you. I remember going to my first show. It was in first ECW.
Oh, yeah,
show
another
was
question.
in Worcester, Mass.
He's got a lot of
I
questions.
saw you wrestle. Afterwards, I went back, got you to sign my hat. It was awesome. There was a big crowd of people around you. You were signing autographs, and I was like 14, 13 at the time. You gave me your drink, and you told me, I don't want you drinking this. I want you to hold it for me. I don't want you going home saying, Mama, New Jack got me drunk. And it was
I don't talk like that, man.
I remember it always. I helped you drink while you signed the autographs. But anyways, my
You forgot.
question is about the summer of 1998. You had a feud with Jack Victory. What are your memories of the feud? I mean, you know, he was coming back after not wrestling for a while, if I believe correctly. You guys' feud was
What's my memories of the feud?
Dudley's Sandman, Tommy Dreamer feud.
Wow.
What are your memories of those matches? You did a lot of balcony dives, and wasn't there supposed to be a match at Heatwave 98, like a scaffold match that got scrapped? If so, why did that get scrapped? What are your memories of that feud?
There's a whole lot of shit in there. You want to start with Jack Victory?
What's my memories of me and Jack Victory working together?
Mm-hmm.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Okay. Scaffold match. Know anything about it?
I don't know what the man is talking about.
Okay. Email from Screaming Fist. New Jack's thoughts on Raven as a person and a performer.
Fucking A, dude! Fucking A! The whole thing with Raven coming out with the goddamn grocery boy in WWF was bullshit. But besides that, fucking A. Motherfucker.
Craig Schwartz. Recently, Taz made some unkind comments about Devin Storm and his time in ECW. Was Taz on point with what he said about him? What do you think of Devin Storm?
Don't know the man. Don't remember the man. Taz's point is about as sharp as this. Don't mean shit. The fuck?
All right, back to Jimmy James. Another
Devin
one of his
Storm.
many questions.
I don't even remember Devin Storm.
Wasn't memorable.
Was he the white dude with the big nose?
Yes.
No, he was cool.
He was cool?
Yeah.
So what was Taz's problem?
Was he from Smoky Mountain?
No.
Oh, that's the other dude. No, Devin Storm was cool, man.
Yeah.
You know, okay, all right, okay. Go figure. Devin Storm. There's a yard of niggas to go out there and fuck with. But let's go pick on Devin Storm. He's the one over in the corner like this, talking about, man, remember your mama hanging out close? But now I done went on TV and called Taz a fucking rapist. Why ain't he comment on me?
I think you made that point before. Why you didn't?
Okay. Devin Storm. That's like, okay, look, here's a fucking field of people. Let's go find somebody to fuck with. No, fuck him. Hey, but there's Devin Storm over there painting flowers on the side of a fucking wall. Yeah, let's talk about him. Fuck him. Mm-hmm. Devin Storm, dude. Don't he like sew clothes? Don't he make
No, he's a physical therapist.
He's a physical therapist. He has a real job.
Yeah, I mean, Devin Storm I ain't never had no problem with him.
No, he's cool.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Very good.
Fuck.
No problem. The next video isn't working either, so let's skip ahead to Cruise Missile.
Oh, Lord.
Would like to know what a typical ECW arena locker room was the night of the show. Who sat where? Who was doing what?
I mean, dude, you had, wow. I was always up in the corner by myself. Chances are I was snorting coke. Go figure. Sammy had to be walking around acting fucking goofy, and getting everybody pointers on shit that they had nothing to do with him. Taz be trying to shake up all the green boys. And I mean, just everybody that had their own little crew. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jack the Carino hung out, and Justin Credible hung out with Jason Knight, and they all hung out. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, yeah, everybody just had their own little clique.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes me and Mustafa be up there talking, and sometimes we wouldn't. Or I'd be up there drinking or doing drugs or some shit, trying to prepare myself to go out there and dive to the fucking floor at 90 miles a fucking hour and smack the goddamn concrete. Just so you motherfuckers say, ECW. And I used to want to say, motherfucker, ECW didn't just dive off of that shit. That was me hit that goddamn floor.
Right.
So typical night it was just always different shit.
Hybrid fan, courtesy of WrestlingClassics.com. How about asking what he thought about Paul Heyman? How Paul Heyman expanded ECW to lead the eventual demise of the company. How was Paul Heyman's leadership?
Dude, this shit is all about money. Leadership. You know what? It's almost like when you come out of the house, it's almost like, you preparing yourself to go play a role. Paul E played a role. Everybody plays a role. Everybody's a fucking character. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When his job was to come, his job is, to come to work, and have this locker room full of fucking people that's willing to go out there and put the ass on the line, whatever. He booked the show, we did the show.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Did we do what he said do? I didn't. How was he as a leader? He didn't lead me, he paid me. Okay?
Fine.
So,
very good.
There you go.
Mike Kinney, New Jack, since you work regularly for both Smoky Mountain Wrestling and ECW, can you compare the two booking styles of Jim Cornette and Paul Heyman? Which promoter do you enjoy working for the most?
I enjoy working for both of them. I work with Cornette. Cornette's very business minded. Very business minded. He has a touch of racist in him. Just a touch.
It's the South.
Like a little shot.
It's the South.
Like how the dude came out and said, fucking nigger. Cornette might be like, you know what I'm saying? It's like just a little like splash. It's like my Long Island iced tea with a splash of peach schnapps. Just a little splish. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, Cornette's business minded. You know what I'm saying? Paul E's business minded.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you got the East Coast of ECW, and then you got the down south hillbilly of Smoky Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And the fans down there are like about 15 years behind in time. And they still believe in the good guy and the bad guy.
Mm.
The black guy is always the bad guy. Believe it or not. In Smoky Mountains.
Mm.
Okay? And it's like unless you just came out there with your lips painted white, talking about, mammy, I mean, you just was not, I don't give a fuck what the fuck you did. If you black in the South, you was always, they hated you. I don't give a fuck. So, I mean, it was like I said, I mean, both of these motherfuckers is business minded. And I mean, I give credit where it's due. Both of them is good with what they fucking did.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Cornette did his thing in Smoky Mountain. When it was time for it to end, it ended. Paulie did his shit with ECW. When it was time for it to end, it fucking ended. It was fucked up the way it ended, but I guess with him, I can't say what his whole motive was of doing whatever the fuck he did, but he's still alive. He's still out there doing whatever the fuck it is he want to do. And ECW now is like, to me, it's dead and gone. It's in the past. And he did what the fuck he want to do with the company. Now it's over with.
Perfect way to end the ECW chapter. All right, Smoky Mountain. We're going to talk a little Smoky Mountain. Jimmy James, the return of Jimmy James.
Who's that?
Yeah, the guy that asked the
New
last
Jack,
question.
what is up, man?
What?
When you and Mustafa started the Gangsters or as Jim Cornette may have said, the Gangsters, in
No,
Smoky
he said
Mountain
Gangsters.
Wrestling,
Hey,
mid-90s, 95, 96.
94.
Did you guys get any interest from WWE or WCW at that time, like before you went to ECW? And I know D'Lo Brown used to work with you guys. Were you surprised that he got signed to WWE? And what are your opinions on him and how his career went? Thank you.
Any interest from WWE or WCW?
We talked to WCW not from Smoky Mountain, but from ECW.
Okay.
And Paulie was like, Jack, if you go down there, they're gonna try to fuck you. And they were interested in talking to us. They was like, they wanted to talk to us or whatever. He said, if you go, they're going to try to fuck you. And he said, they're trying to make the hardcore shit look like garbage. And it wasn't too long after that, they got Public Enemy. Right. And that part, I will admit, he was telling the truth. Because they made Public Enemy like fucking cartoons after that. They had no credibility to do shit as far as convincing motherfuckers. Once they went out with the Nasty Boys and did fucking street fights with fucking blown up dolls and shit and sharks and rubber bats. Like
to ridicule
the blow up rubber bats, like, you know what I'm saying, like a fucking float, like a shark, and they was hitting each other and they was selling it, and they killed it. So they did talk to us at that time about that shit, and Paulie was like, Jack, honest to God, he said, I'm not saying this just for you to just not go. He said, but just think about what's going to happen. He said, right now, Eric Bischoff is mad at me, and he's trying to take all my top guys. He said, if you go, they going to fuck you. And I did think about it, because there was an offer, but I didn't go. And after I saw what they did to Public Enemy, I'm glad I didn't go, because they destroyed him.
Okay, he asked something about D'Lo. Let me read this other question first before we talk about D'Lo. Drew Murphy from Kansas City, Missouri asks, New Jack, is it true that D'Lo Brown mowed Jim Cornette's lawn in Smoky Mountain, and did anyone else do lawn care for him? I don't know if that's a racial angle that Cornette used to talk about or what, but...
Did D'Lo cut his grass? Yes. He did. Jim Cornette had a 45-degree angle in his freaking front yard. We went around there one day and saw D'Lo cutting the grass on tilt. And I was just like, I'm done. I said, you just set niggas back 400 years. I'm quit. I quit. Kill me. Shoot the fuck out of me. Boom. I fucking quit. He did it.
Okay.
I swear to God, he did it.
All right, Big Sexy is back.
Kayfabe Commentaries, New Jack, what's up? Big Sexy coming from representing the Bean once again. I want to give a shout out to my boys at Off the Mock. Here's my question. The Gangsters, one of the best teams that ever come out of ECW. Why do you feel that they never made it to WWE or WCW? I mean, the Dudleys made it, Public Enemy made it. Were you guys just too violent? What's the deal, man? Anyway, great job. Peace.
Thank you, Big Sexy. Bruh, people look at my character. I mean, when I had Paulie convinced that when we did a little angle with Jack Victory, and Paulie really thought, because I told Jack to hit me really, really hard with the guitar and shit. When I came back in the locker room, Paulie did the ring between me and Jack, because he thought I was really, really mad.
Right.
So, if I can convince this motherfucker, then I know I can convince somebody else sitting at home.
Right.
So it was more like, if you bring him in, he ain't gonna do what you say do.
Right.
And I've been known. My mom used to always tell me I was rebellious as a kid. As I became a man, I'm still rebellious. So if you told me to do something, I'd do something totally opposite. Okay. When it came down to the business part of it, well, Paulie would tell me to do shit, I get pissed off because I knew it was like a fuck job coming. That's when I started diving. That was some shit I used to do when I was a kid. I used to dive off the house in front of my mom's car when she come home from work, and she got the car and beat the shit out of me. So at one point, Paulie was mad at us, so he started making us do jobs every fucking week. So I said, fuck it. I said, I'm gonna do something that they ain't gonna even remember to finish.
Right.
I started diving. So the word kind of started getting around. Fuck. He gonna dive and they gonna do the job. What they gonna fucking remember? Who got pent or that fucking dive he just did? So now the word starts circulating. He ain't gonna do what you say do.
Right.
If you tell him to do this, he gonna do that. If you tell him to go left, he gonna turn right. If you tell him don't get color, he gonna try to cut the top of his fucking head off. And I would.
Right.
And to me it'd be funny. You gotta understand something, bro. When I came out of high school, I went straight to prison. And did almost 3 years in prison. I didn't get fucked in. So when I get in this business, I'm not gonna get fucked in this business. I didn't start wrestling until I was 30 years old, damn near. I'd be 47 my next birthday. Okay, so I came in this business as a grown fucking man.
Right.
I didn't come in like 2021, you know what I'm saying, ready to play the game, sit over in the corner, put on your Walkman. Oh God, I hope I get this. I didn't give a fuck about that. I mean, I didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, everybody knew that. I went down to WWE. They gave me what they call 4 fingers up, a tryout, and fucking 04. And Malenko came up to me. He said, Jack, whatever you do, do not go up to Vince and speak to him. Unless he speaks to you. So I'm like, why? He said, you just don't do it. Now, I don't know if he was telling me not to do it to fuck with me or if that's just the rule of the locker room. But he walked by and I'm like, hey, how you doing, New Jack? I'm like, thanks for bringing me down, whatever the fuck. I hope I give you what you like. And I was done. And he looked at me like, okay. And I'm like, nice meeting you. I walked on down the hall and I started laughing. About 15 minutes later, I went back and looked at the lineup sheet at the board where they write your name on it.
Yeah.
Mine had been swiped off.
No way. That's ridiculous.
All right, they erased mine. Dude came over, he said, here's your pay for the night. He said, you can go over there and sit down and watch the rest of the show if you want to. I said, I don't want to see this shit. I said, I ain't on it. I said, I'm going to go over at the bar. So I walked out of the back of the goddamn building. It was in Fort Lauderdale. And I went across the street to a fucking seafood restaurant and got me something to eat. And I was watching some shit what they had on TV at that fucking restaurant.
Wow.
And then it was, matter of fact, it was me and MVP. And he was trying to get a job at the time. So we walked, he said, Jack, man, I can't play this fucking game. I said, well, you might can, but I ain't gonna play it. I said, I'm going down here to this fucking bar. I'm like, fuck this shit. So then I walked back over there with him. He went back in there later on, before the show was over with. I got in my car and went back to the hotel.
Wow.
And flew out 2 days later, came back home.
That's crazy. Wow.
You know, so I mean, I was just always known for just not, and it's not that I can't play. I've always been told I can't play by the rules. It ain't that. It's just that I just don't believe in the unnecessary bullshit that comes along with this fucking business. You know, the whole, yes, sir, thank you, sir, I'm glad you let me come here, sir. Sir, can I bend over and let you fuck me up the ass? I mean, I don't fuck all that shit. I mean, for fucking what? I saw so much in ECW, I'm like, I can't do it. I said, that's a game that I cannot play. And I would not play. I would never fucking do it. And that was why I never went. Because Vince, he didn't say it directly to me, but I was told from somebody very reliable. He said he would never hire me because he's been told that he can't control me. Mm-hmm. And he said, if he can't control you, he get rid of you. So instead of just saving the time of getting rid of me, he just said, fuck it. We just won't bring him in. But if you look at the Nation of Domination when they did that corny ass bullshit, and Dino was one of their backup singers.
Right.
That wasn't nothing but some bite off the fucking gangsters from Smoky Mountain in '94. And anybody knows that'll tell you that. You know what I'm saying?
With controllable
right.
workers.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, they try to come out and do the whole, you know, we blacker than black bullshit and white people this and all that old corny and shit. But it wasn't convincing coming from Ron Simmons.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Whereas it was like shit I was just pulling off the top of my fucking head because see, I never was given scripts to read. Paulie never said, Jack, here's a script.
Well, that's the other thing. What would you have done if when you got to WWE, if you got the job and they start handing you scripts?
I'd have gave back to him.
Right.
And I'd have told him the same thing I told Paulie. I said, give me the point. I want you to say, okay, tell me, what am I doing, Paulie? What you want me to do? He said, Jack, I want you to walk across that fucking bridge and go to that store. Tell me how you will get there.
Right.
In your own words.
Right.
And the way that I'm going to get to that fucking store, I could say I'm going to walk right across that fucking bridge and go in that store. That would be so simple to fucking do. But with my version of it, I'd be more like, motherfucker, I'm going to go to this goddamn store, but before I get this motherfucking store, I'm going to kill a bunch of motherfuckers going over that motherfucking bridge. I'm going to throw some people off the motherfucking bridge. I'm going to kill kids and shoot dogs and kick cats and all kind of shit. I'm going to go in the store, smack the bitch, grab the shit, run out the motherfucking door, and I'm back and here's the fucking goods. He said, that's what I'm talking about. Right. That's how my promos were set up. Right. I said, give me the point. Mm-hmm. Tell me the point of my match. Let me give the deliverance. Don't you tell me how to do it.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
And he was like, fine, here you go. And we stuck to that. He said, I would never tell you how to cut a fucking promo. I mean, you see Raven sometime, he be right there writing this shit down and putting it on fucking tape and playing it back and listening to it and trying to remember it. And some of them just scripted all the way out.
Right.
And I ain't picking on Ray. I'm just saying, I mean, it is what the fuck it is. I mean, a lot of the guys be like, oh shit. I seen some people just be like, man. And then, for me, I'm just like, just give me the point. But see, I've been to WWE to see them do that shit.
Right.
When they was, when I got that little time to go up there, whatever the fuck. But I mean, it's already known. You get there early, you gotta read this fucking script for your fucking promo. And you gotta memorize that motherfucker word for word. They showed this shit on this something on YouTube where they showed Hogan in the ring stumbling over a promo he forgot the fucking words to. Right. And he just told him, but I mean, that's part of their shit. I could never do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And my shit was really more believable. People really believed that what I said I was gonna do. They was like, well, is it a work or is it a fucking shoot? Mm-hmm. I even had some of the boys come back and say, Jack, this is a match, right? Like, we for play, it ain't like really real, cause what you just said, I'm a little concerned about, you know what I mean? And, my wife is out in the audience, and I mean, goddamn, we getting paid for this, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I know. But if you give them something that's just that much more believable, then motherfuckers are always questioning, like I've always been questioned. Is New Jack really like that?
Right.
I don't really know. And I really don't want to find the fuck out.
Good enough. Moving on. Dr. Popufnik.
Oh boy.
From WrestlingClassics.com. How well did you get along with the with the Rock and Roll Express?
Man, that sorry motherfucker Ricky Moore. Man, I love Ricky, man. Dude, Ricky and Robert, I ain't never had a bad thing to say about either one of them motherfuckers. Because Ricky, Robert, Tracy Smothers took me by my fucking hand when I got in Smoky Mountain and walked me through this fucking business. I got a crash course on what it was to learn how to be a fucking character from Ricky, Robert, and fucking Tracy. Tracy had me one time, we did a goddamn, I know this about rock and roll, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Mm-hmm. Tracy had one time, we did a goddamn match. And we worked. We was doing spots. Reversals and this and that and yada, yada, yada. And I was like, damn, I did that shit. But Tracy called a whole match. Ricky and Robert will call the whole match. They didn't call my heat spots. By the time they didn't tell me what to fucking do. Huh. See? And I was like, this is like student and teacher. And I'd be like, look, y'all know what to do. So one day Ricky said, Jack, when you gonna call a spot? I said, I got one spot. He said, what? I said, I want to do a running clothesline off the side of the ring area. He said, well, it's about time. I said, well, Ricky, look, y'all been doing fine. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I mean, dude, them motherfuckers taught me so goddamn much in such a short period of fucking time. You know what I'm saying? And I credit them for helping me a lot when I first got in this fucking business. Rick and Rob, I swear to God, there's like one story, which I ain't gonna drag this shit out too long. One night, I was coming to the ring. This white dude like, goddamn nigger, you motherfucking nigger, fucking go back, you fucking jungle monkey bunny, what the fuck? I'm like, oh my God. So we did the fucking match. And after the match, he runs up to the apron, you goddamn nigger, you fucking going out hanging, you motherfucker. I'm like, oh, that's it. I ran after him. He ran out the back door. Now he got on some tight ass jeans and some cowboy boots. He was outrunning me out the back door. It was like a comedy scene. It was him, me, Mustafa, Ricky, Robert, the referee, security, fans. Down through the woods. And I didn't catch it. When I finally came back, I come in the locker room, I sit down, Ricky said, Jack, I ain't trying to tell you what to do. I just want to just say, just give you a little bit of advice. He said, when you make somebody so fucking mad they want to call you nigga, you doing your job. Right. He said, your boo is like my applause. He said, now if they didn't respond to you at all, then you have a problem. Right. He said, but as long as you making these people that goddamn mad where they want to just come and just call you nigga and fucking want to hang you and all kind of shit, he said, God damn it, you are over like a motherfucker. But I mean, bro, I ain't been in the business that long. Right. So I'm like, Rick, I ain't using no shit like that. He said, Jack, just understand, separate yourself from your character. And I was like, fuck that, Ricky, he called me nigga. He said, Jack. He said, we selling tickets. And I was like, okay, I guess it's all making sense now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it took some time. But it was like just being around that kind of shit.
Right.
Helped me develop my character even more. So then after that, because of Ricky and Robert and all them other cats, it just made me realize how easy I could make white people mad by doing the simplest shit and be fucking over like a motherfucker with just doing shit that I know would piss them the fuck off.
Perfect segue into this video.
Now, New Jack, I really appreciate how you pushed the envelope in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Did that ever get you into any problems, like, you know, on the road or anything? Did you have any run-ins with the KKK, maybe? Some scary situations I'm sure must have developed. Any time where you legitimately feared your life was in question. Thank you very much.
Smoky Mountain, the KKK, me getting in trouble? No, it never happened. It ain't never happened. Let me see. Let me tell you the first time. I go to this town in Kentucky. They say it was a dry county. This is before I ever see. I ain't even know about Sandman. I come out to the goddamn ring. I had a 40 ounce of St. Ives. Now this is a true story. You can go look this up. It was in the newspaper that they done this article about St. Ives, and it's illegal in the state of Tennessee. It's a controlled substance like cocaine.
St. Ives?
St. Ives and fucking Crazy Horse. And in the paper it said St. Ives and Crazy Horse makes minorities, in parentheses, black people and Mexicans, no, Hispanics, violent. You could not be caught with it. Having that shit in the backseat of your car would be like having a fucking key. Cocaine.
And that's how they presented it in the newspaper?
Yes. So, I come out to the ring with this motherfucking 40 ounce. And I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, I'm New Jack, whatever. Get in the ring, do the match, come back out. Go in the locker room. Cop said, damn, there you go. This is a dry county. I said, what the fuck is a dry county? We don't allow liquor in this county. And that's St. Ives. That could be a felony. Wait, turn around.
They took you in?
They took me to fucking jail. That was the first time. Had a cop in Johnson City, Tennessee grab me and I punched him. That was the second time. Had one cop, this white boy called me, nigga. I said, your mama fuck niggas, bitch. I went to jail for that, for disorderly conduct, profane abuse language. That was the third time. I'm in my Corvette one day riding down the fucking street. In 94, I had a 94 Corvette. In Smoky Mountain. And it wasn't because of all the money Cornette was paying me. Because I was selling drugs. So, I had a teal green Corvette. Me and Ricky used to ride around in it, and Buddy Landale used to ride around in it. Oh yes, me and the Reverend Buddy Landale, brother.
Do you have anything left to sell at the end of the day?
Hey,
Holy
look.
You can hire your own supply.
You know what I'm saying? Look. So goddamn, we sitting there, them motherfuckers, my music was too loud. No, I didn't just get a ticket. I went to jail.
For music?
Music too loud. My windows was tinted too dark. I said it's 30%. And it was 30% because they matched the card up to it. But no. The back window was black. I said, that's legal. Not in the Corvette. Went to jail for that. It was like lock up the nigga week every time they saw me, bro. Like a goddamn Tennessee sport. Every time I came to a fucking city. And it got so bad, goddamn it, we started having to go to a police station in some of the towns. And they would take us to the show.
Wow.
And then they would pick us up and take us back to the police station, and we get in the car and then leave.
Wow.
And we'll be told do not stop at any restaurants within the city limits.
Holy shit. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? No, so I never had no problem with Smoky Mountain. Never with the cop. Never. Going locked up. Never. KKK. No. What the fuck? What's that? Never.
Alright. Missy Hyatt gets a whole chapter, Jack. Missy Hyatt gets a whole chapter here.
What do you mean?
A whole series of questions. Hemi from Shipman's Surgery, courtesy of the board at Figure 4 Wrestling Online. Thoughts on Missy Hyatt?
That's old shit.
Alright.
There were 3 DVDs of talk. Fuck it. Love you, Missy.
Box. Got to ask you, Jack. What was up with Missy Hyatt's dumb ass and that doctor? Did he really kill himself over that bitch telling the cops his business? Yell.
I just said I want to talk about Missy. But yes! He did. Stop it. Stop it. Stop
Yeah,
it.
you want me to go?
He
You want to
did.
keep talking?
He
Yeah,
did.
I'll
He
fight
did.
him.
He shot himself. Missy, you ought to be ashamed. But he did. And he did. She give me medicine. Oh, I'm sorry. I had enough.
Missy Hyatt said you're addicted to crack. Is that just ass or is that drugs? Can you please elaborate?
What was that?
Missy Hyatt said you were addicted to crack. You want to know if it was ass crack or the drug crack?
I'm addicted to it. I love ass crack.
Fine for me. Costin Holies asks again, did you fuck Missy? And if so, how was she? Does she have any special qualities we may not know of?
Crack.
Okay.
She had crack.
Staying on that.
She had good
Jack,
crack.
I have another issue question for you.
What?
How much money would it take for you to fuck Missy Hyatt all night long?
Could you put a price tag on it, Jack?
Crack. Oh God! I'm addicted to what my dick did. What the fuck?
Fuck, marry, kill. You play this game? I'm gonna give you 3 names. You gotta fuck one. Gun to your head. Gotta fuck one. Gotta marry one, and gotta kill one. Missy, Nicole Bass, and China.
Who's Nicole Bass? Oh, that's the dude. Oh God!
Gotta fuck one. Gotta marry one. Gotta kill one. Missy, Nicole Bass, and China.
I kill Nicole.
You got okay. You're not in much better spot with that. Go ahead.
I would marry. Okay, well, what I got left? I got
Marry and fuck.
marry and fuck.
Yeah. And you got China and Missy left.
Okay, I kill Nicole. I said that about him.
Yeah.
I fuck. God damn. China and marry Missy.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you. You're not afraid to say it. Missy, there may be a proposal
Shit.
coming.
God damn it. Missy, let bygones be bygones. Damn it. Shiki need medicine.
Box asks, what up, Jack? Who do you think has the best ass, Molly Holly or that fake cellulite shit Missy brought herself back in the ECW days? Let me know my
Man,
equal.
He
Box.
just, the way he just said it, I ain't got no choice but to say Molly.
All right.
Molly's a cool chick.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Comparing Molly to fucking Missy is like comparing a Volkswagen to a fucking Escalade. Sorry. But I mean, Molly gave me her sunflower seeds, damn it, in Portland, Oregon. We was in the car and I was hungry. And I said, Molly, you got any food? She said, I got sunflower seeds. Do you want them? And I ate them. In the limo going back to the hotel. And ain't nothing nasty about that. He wait on the punchline. Ain't no nasty shit involved in it. It was just straight sunflower seeds with no raisins. Thank you, Molly. Shit.
And the ass was all good, right?
And you're the Escalade. And old stinky lady is the fucking Volkswagen. And it's a Volkswagen Rabbit 78 convertible and it's got holes in the sunroof. And one of the tires is flat and the tires don't match. And it's got an 8-track. And the lights don't work.
Okay, moving on.
And the
Oh,
bumper broke.
you have an old friend. You have an old friend.
Oh, not this motherfucker again.
Okay, crash the Windows thing. I don't know why. We'll try him again. It doesn't play Madness's video. Let's try this guy again. One more time. Let me see.
The one to do with the kept.
Hey, what's up, man? Superman, man, back again. Let me ask you something, man. I have a question. How many CDs that Mrs. Hyde gave it to you, man? And Sean, nice tie. Where you buy it, motherfucker? At Walmart? You piece of shit. Hey.
You talking to you?
Get my
Very good. Thank you, Madness.
He's an STD. He's a result of somebody getting somebody pregnant and they had clap and herpes.
Spec Sun from InYourHeadOnline.com. New Jack, I visited your old website years ago, and I remember you had a rat section. I thought that was some of the funniest content ever produced. Would you consider doing it again? What's your favorite rat story? Before, instead of doing that, it's the opportunity to play a game. Let's play the hoe bag. And I'm going to give you the names of women that you may know in the business. And if they're cool, you say they're cool. Tell an experience with them or whatever. And we keep them out of the hoe bag. If they're dirty, filthy whore, they go in the hoe bag.
Okay.
All right? All right. Well, all right. It's on top, so I guess we start. Mr. Hyatt. Okay. Okay. That's a hoe bag for anyone keeping score at home.
She's like.
She is the bag, pretty much. She's the bag.
She's a repeat offender.
Okay. Oh, she keeps going in. Like those 4 times in Tennessee, right?
Go ahead.
Sonny?
Huh?
Well, we're lucky you're only putting it there. Sonny. Tammy.
She cool, man.
Cool? All right, stays out of the bag. Fine with me.
I don't like. She cool. Fuck it, she cool.
What? You started. What were you gonna
I don't
say?
like the way she handled that shit with Chris at the end, but she cool.
Oh, with the other guy.
Yeah, with the other dude, and then she got a little tattoo of Chris on her neck, like way up here, up on her hairline. And then, you know, with the other dude and all that.
China.
China retarded.
Retarded, but not a hoe.
She's
She's got a new sex video out.
Sean hoe. She X-Pac hoe.
Bag?
Put the hoe in the bag. She X-Pac hoe.
Lady Alexandra.
Don't know her.
Never worked with, never.
I don't know her.
All right.
Who is she?
What's it? Yeah, ECW.
Oh, the old chick. Ooh.
Oh my God.
Damien Kane's girl.
Huh?
Damien Kane's girl, right? Damien Kane.
But I mean, she is old, right?
But not a hoe.
No.
Not in the
No.
Jazz.
Little Jazz. Let me tell you a story about Jazz. First, Jazz called me then. She's the Jack. Balls Mahoney telling people he got the goods. I said, Jazz, you gave Balls the cooler. She said, no. She said, but Ball is telling people he got the goods. But he didn't.
What goods?
He blinked her.
Oh.
He said it, but he
got her-
didn't.
Oh,
He didn't. He didn't get it good. But the thing with Jazz, though, bro, for real, we don't tell one night. I mean, look, baby, it is what it is. Welcome to the business. Jazz sleep. She's in the room with me, this rat, a few other. The Lady Alexandra was in the room with her and Jazz. Was actually in their room. We just kind of crashed the party. Jazz laying there asleep, and I came over there on the bed. I sit on the side of the bed with her. And I started fucking with her like, Jazz. And she was asleep. I swear to God, she was dead asleep. I said, Jazz. I said, stick your tongue out. She said, and I had some cocaine. I said, back. Round the tongue. She did. She went back to sleep.
Mustn't have been enough.
No, that was my cat.
Nicole Bass. That's.
Now you said a whole bag.
Yeah,
It could
she
be a fag
made-
put in the fag bag. You got a homosexual
We'll keep
bag.
her Lita.
The little redhead chick.
Yeah.
She was alright. No,
Miss
she ain't-
Texas.
She don't go in the heck. Man, that motherfucker, that's Jeff Jarrett hoe. Put that hoe in that hoe bag. The one with the silicone titty. Everywhere Jeff Jarrett has ever went, Jackie went with him. He used to have butt naked pictures in USWA of that bitch, and one of her titties got popped on a fucking silicone.
we heard
and
this.
he had the
Yeah.
pictures. He had one titty jacked up, and the other one was down.
The guy
we
from
heard this.
Indiana took the
Well, everywhere that goddamn Jeff Jarrett ever went, she always seemed to make her way because that was his hoe. So the bitch goes in the hoe bag. Hoe.
Who told us a story on camera about Jamie Dundee
Yeah.
walked in on something in the
He
shower
probably walked in on her and Jeff.
and somebody else. I
Yeah.
forget who the other person was. Gorgeous George.
It's a cooter.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Who was that?
Gorgeous. She was married. She was with Randy Savage.
She was ECW?
No. Was she?
Oh, I got one. You ain't got. I know you ain't got in
Who
here.
was she?
I know you don't. I know you don't.
Oh, good. Who?
What's the little chick? She was Sandman's valet at USWA. I mean, the WCW. For a quick minute, you told me she called you and she was
Chastity.
Let me tell you about that bitch.
Sure.
She in there? You need to write her name on the back of this.
Oh, here. Oh, hold on a minute. Here we go.
Let me tell you about Miss. Okay, I'm putting Mr. down there. Just put it back in the whole bag. Chastity. Chastity. I got a story for you. Chastity. First, she was fucking Saturn. Then Saturn kicked her down to Devon. Don't tell nobody I said this, but Devon was married. He was married. Devon falls in love with Chastity and is loving this bitch in public, holding hands, fucking her, kissing on her, loving on her. And all of a sudden, we did a show up in Jersey. And somebody came in the locker room with a goddamn videotape of Chastity. Break it down to Chastity. And this other bitch was sucking some boy's dick on video. And when he got to the point of blowing a wad, they was fighting over it. He was shooting his wad off and both of them was swallowing that shit like a motherfucker. Devon is like this. And I was like, look, your bitch on TV. I said, that's your bitch. That's the one you were just kissing. I told him, I do this, Devon. I do this. Don't that nasty taste. I said, what? And he said, what the fuck? I said, you was gonna leave your wife for that bitch. Because people were telling him, don't leave your wife. Because he hadn't been like used to that kind of shit.
Right.
So when the first little piece of pussy came along that would suck his dick real good and make a noise, he was ready to leave his wife. And he was about to ready to leave that bitch. Leave his wife for Chastity.
I guess that ended that, huh?
Yeah. Probably didn't, but in public it did.
Yeah. Beulah.
Beulah cool, man.
All right. Electra.
That the old chick?
Is that the old chick? Yes.
I ain't gonna keep going old. She's seasoned. She's marinated. She's like Dusty Rhodes. She's seasoned, baby.
She all right?
Yeah, she looks cool.
Kimona.
She got naked one night. I fucking...
Does that constitute a hoe bag, though?
No.
No. Francine.
Francine was cool. She don't go in the whole bag.
Should I ignore the pause there?
No. Yeah.
Come on now.
No, put it down.
Becky.
Who the fuck is that?
What did she do? She was
that-
actually wasn't she kind of like a locker room favorite in
Becky
ECW
Bayless?
for a while?
Yeah, she's a local indie girl. And you probably wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know her.
All right.
But I know Chastity.
Dawn Marie.
Don't read my cat. Man, that's
All
my
right.
girl there, man.
Peaches.
Same man way?
Yeah.
Pizza cool.
Jasmine St. Clair.
You nasty cum burping bitch, you know I ain't got no love for you, you stinking motherfucking hoe. You was a hoe then, you was a hoe now. I will make a weekly series on you, you nasty cum burping bitch. You know ain't no love here for you. Fuck you, hoe. You worse than Mr. Hyde, motherfucker. You the motherfucking shit that was left in the rubber after they flipped it inside out and they just had residue, you nasty bitch. Huh?
Well, all right. Well, works for me. Let's see. What do we got in the bag then? I think this is good here. The only ones ending up in the bag today, we had the Chastity. Of course, we heard Miss Texas, China, Gorgeous. No, Gorgeous George didn't end up in the bag.
I don't even know. I thought that was a dude.
No,
I know-
Jasmine, cum burping bitch, and Missy. So there we go. That's all. Not bad.
But you did say Chastity.
Chastity, yeah.
That she got to be in there. You got to put her in there twice.
All right. Okay, another video. Well, I think this one's about Too Cold Scorpio's penis. Can never talk about that enough, apparently, on a video.
New Jack, here's your question for you.
Ask him to play that question.
I'm gonna miss the Sex Express. Hold on. I'm gonna ask him a stupid question now. Shut up before I come over there and big slap your ass.
I want to know.
I'm right. I'm answering the goddamn question. The Mrs. Sex Express wants me to ask this question. She wants to know, have you ever seen two schools grow up your penis? And is it bigger than yours? Now, you say that's not Mrs. Sex Express?
All right. Yeah, have you seen his penis is bigger than yours? I don't know why he wants to know. He's saying his wife wants to know.
No, and no, I ain't seen the man dick. Whoever the gay dude was in the background. No, stupid fuck.
That was the Hess Express that asked that question. He's got another one here for you too about women.
kind of.
John Oliver, sorry about that last question. The Mrs. Sex Express gets a little out of control, and I had to ask that question for it. But my question to you, New Jack, is how many women have you fucked in one night?
Most men and women in one night. Perfectly legitimate question.
I got the record. I hold the record at the Holiday Inn on Packer Avenue. 7.
Now that's not to completion each time, right?
No. You say the big
That's just
build up.
sticking it in.
You say the build up for the end.
Right.
I just got that. You hit that. Next.
Exactly.
Go back down to the bar. Here go my keep it. Shoo.
Frank Turd.
Oh God.
You say you've been with a lot of women while on the road, and of course under the influence. My question is, have you ever got together with a transvestite or hermaphrodite and were so out of it that you didn't realize it till the next day?
Yes. Your
Really?
mother.
Oh.
His mom.
You got me.
It was his mom and his dad. They was all rolled up in one. And I fucked them. It was group sex. His fucking mama. It's his mom and dad. She call it his Maddie. What the fuck?
Okay.
Your mother.
New Jack, I want to know, how many free plane trips have you gone from women?
How many free plane trips from women? It kind of touches on what we talked about a little earlier with credit cards and whatnot.
Yes. I still have a few of them. And she keep paying, I ain't gonna pay it back. He ain't got nothing else to do.
New Jack, give me a ballpark figure. How many women have claimed to have had your children?
Wow. A lot. I had this girl one time sent me a picture of the ugliest baby I've ever seen on the planet Earth. And that is E-R-E-A-R-F, Earth.
Earth.
It was a little baby. He was mixed with pigeon and cheetah. You know how a cheetah look when they're real little? They got the spiked hair. Well, the little baby had like this beak nose and spiked hair. It was the ugliest little motherfucker I've seen in my life.
Can we bring up a map on the screen? Tell us where throughout the geographic world these children claim to be from, and maybe we can chart how much of the world you've covered right now.
Man, Canada.
How many?
If child support start looking for me, I'll come after your ass. Canada, Ohio, Maine.
Man, gotcha.
California, Seattle, Portland, Oregon.
Off North America?
And
Off North America at all?
Puerto Rico.
Word?
Shit.
Samoa?
I wanted Samoa. She wouldn't give me no more.
Gotcha. All right, we're going to Philly for this one. This is Rocky.
Fuck. Hell no. No. No.
Hey, yo, New Jack, this is Rocky from Philadelphia here. How's it going, man? I remember you from ECW. Man, we used to fuck around the same rats down there in Philly. I think I might got your crabs one time, too. But I want to know your memories of staying at the Holiday Inn. Man, there was a lot of rats there, a lot of bitches. What are your memories of that? You ever see me tag team with some bitches? Me and the Apollo Creed? Oh, it was great. Anyways, thanks for answering my question, Rocky.
All right, the Holiday Inn.
Dude, that was a piece of fucking cardboard.
It sure was.
And I'm supposed to answer a piece of fucking cardboard. That was a bad impression of Rocky Balboa.
It wasn't.
Whom in turn has a fucking larger than life-size statue at the Spectrum. And Joe Frazier was the World Heavyweight Champion. Ain't he got no statue?
How many women
Shut up.
in the
I'm talking.
Singapore Kane wielded. Drunk motherfucker, the Sandman, have double teamed in one night.
None.
All right.
That was a cardboard.
The healthy way. Yeah, you can't. You're stuck on that.
Yeah.
It was. We're not professional comedians sending in to this. You got to go to ring roasts to get the professional.
I gave him cardboard crabs. What kind of shit?
Okay, here's a good one. Billdozer sends this.
Now, New Jack, walk me backstage with this one.
No.
Don't need to get visual, but you know, all the wrestlers after the matches, they're showering themselves up. They're getting it. They just had a great contest. Who would you be most afraid of dropping the soap next to? I don't think I have to ask why.
Bill, that's a lovely pink sweater you're wearing while you ask that question, by the way. I don't cast any aspersions, but go ahead.
Bill, that has to be the gayest shit I have ever heard in my fucking life. Who would I be afraid to drop the soap against? No fucking body, Bill, with the ugly ass pink fucking sweater on. ECW Ring didn't even have a fucking shower, stupid. But if they did, I wouldn't be afraid. That is the gayest shit in the fucking world. They ain't even answer. Bill is just gay.
Drugs. You've heard of them.
No.
All right.
You gonna ask me was there drugs in the locker
A
room?
little video. Might be an old friend of yours. I don't know.
Yo, New Jack, this your boy Kishi. I got a question for you.
Already know what
What was the longest cocaine line you ever snorted?
You can give it to him in inches if you want.
Okay, it started out like this, but as I poured it out the bag, it got longer. And it got longer. And it probably went the length of a fucking straw. And it was about as fat as my fucking finger. And I stayed up for 4 days after that. And I'm going to tell you who I was with. Sandman.
You don't say.
And Sandman looked at me. True. And he said, Jack, isn't this some good ass coke? And I said, yeah. I said, right now, I'm paranoid. My heart's beating fast. My dick won't get hard. I have no appetite. I'll be up for the next 8 days. I said, yeah, this is some good shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Point well taken.
Damn it.
Box. A my equal. Who do you think is the biggest crackhead? Randy Hales or Todd? I look like the guy on PTI, Gordon. Yell. Thank you, Box.
I ain't no tall smoke crack. Who's Randy Hale? So I guess Randy Hale wins the award.
USWA, local baller.
I'm gonna say Todd don't smoke that shit. I ain't never seen him do it. So Randy Hale, you're the winner.
It's become a Youshoot tradition. It's time for what's in the bag. We take a random gym bag
Now,
from
hold
the
on, hold on,
wrestler.
hold on.
Yeah.
Take the bag off your lap.
What?
I done seen that trick before. I did that to a bitch at the fucking movie theater. I said, "What's in the bag?" And I stuck my dick. I stuck my dick through a hole, and she was like, "Oh God, butter." So take that bag off.
You need a bigger bag than this. For me. You got the soul of a black man and then some.
Oh shit.
Okay.
I ain't born for the banana tailpipe.
The random wrestler's gym bag. I'm gonna pull out an item, and it's like those old psychology tests. I want the first name that comes to mind when I hold up an item.
All right.
First name in the business.
Shoot.
All right. Go.
Sandman.
Who did Sandman say when we did this? Do you remember?
Sandman.
No, New Jack.
Did he?
Yeah. I believe, right? Yeah.
Probably did.
Okay. What do we got here? Okay.
What's that? Weed? Sandman.
This is gonna.
No. Rob Van Dam.
Okay.
That's Rob. Hold on. Oh, fuck you.
It's a prop.
It ain't real?
It's a prop. It's a prop. It's not real.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Me.
What?
Me.
Oh, you. Okay.
Me.
Yeah,
Me.
sure.
Me. The fuck?
Rock. The hard stuff.
Everybody. The whole locker, everybody, the whole locker room.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh shit. Louis, no. I can't say that he dead.
I know what you're gonna say. Let's say somebody else.
Somebody else. And Louis. Shit.
All right, I think that's it. You keep fumbling with that. I think you're gonna be. If you snort that, it's gonna be unpleasant, probably. But go ahead. You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
I said, man. I told you they were gonna hook me up. I'm here for a month. I don't ever want to go to sleep again. All right.
Along the same lines, we're going to go to the next
Same here.
chapter. Honky, Chic, and Dundee. Costin asks, what's your opinion on the Honky Tonk Man and the Iron Sheik?
My opinion?
Yeah.
I ain't got no problem with either one of them.
Very good.
I don't love them like, intimate, but
I would hope not.
Iron Sheik is no. Honky Tonk Man is the cool motherfucker. I ain't never had no problem with it. And I mean, the Sheik is just the fucking Sheik. It's like he's like, it's what you see is what you fucking get. And I mean, that's my dude.
Okay.
That's you know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing bad to say about it. Even though last time we was in this motherfucking city and he went and goddamn talked to fucking the manager of the hotel or somebody to open up my fucking room, and they went there and took my fucking room and wouldn't let me get in my own fucking room, and then he wouldn't give me the key to go in his room, and I was homeless for an hour.
I remember actually we were here because we shot something the next day. So we actually got the suite that you were kicked out of the following day. We were moving the furniture, this is a true story, moving the furniture around to rearrange the room, and there was a crack pipe under the couch.
Bullshit.
Swear to God.
No, that is a true story, but it wasn't from us. It was there.
Oh, now it wasn't from you.
No,
Oh.
honestly,
No, it was there.
I'm gonna tell you how I know that it wasn't from the crew that was with us.
Because she kept asking you to go find it for him.
Because somebody had mentioned, where can I find one?
Exactly.
So if they would have known that they was sitting on that motherfucker, that goddamn video would have been real short.
Right. It was pretty short from what I remember.
Well, it would have been shorter. It would have been like a commercial.
Jorge Negron asks, New Jack, what are your thoughts on Jamie Dundee? He likes to drop the N-word a lot, huh? It's true, he does.
I didn't know that until somebody else brought it to my attention. Because Jamie actually stayed with me one time in Philly, and the police was looking for him, or whatever. And I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I got this thing like sometimes I get bored and I'll just ask people stuff just to get a response, and don't mean it. Like I may ask you, do you like a certain person, or let me borrow some money. I want to hear what you got to say about that person, and let me see if you would actually loan me the fucking money to ask you for, because I've given you money in the past.
Yeah.
Just to see what you would say. Mm-hmm. And I was living in Cincinnati, and I had called Jamie one day, and I said, because he kept talking about he was coming up to Cincinnati. So I said, Jamie, if you coming up here, I said, let me hold 100. He's all right, brother, I got you. You know what I'm saying? And then when it came time for him to do it, he went AWOL, right? But I said, you was the same motherfucker I let come stay in my house in Philadelphia, and somebody broke his car window, so I just called it even. You didn't owe me no money. You stayed in my car. Stayed in my house, for a month or so, whatever the fuck you and your bitch. And I go to the grocery store and I buy you food and I buy me food, and everybody was happy, and it was like one big happy family. Mm-hmm. And my old lady hated your old lady, but I still let y'all stay in my house. Mm. But then in return, when I needed you to help me out, or at least you thought I did, and I called on you, you tried to fuck me, or you thought you did. So I didn't know nothing about Jamie like calling people nigga or like using the word nigga until one day somebody told me they go look at this little thing he did on YouTube or whatever, and they sent it to me in a comment. Okay, I stopped fucking with Jamie over a year ago verbally, because I hadn't seen him like in a few years. But then once I saw that, I was really done with it, because see, he couldn't be in my presence and say nigga the way I've seen him say it, or I've heard him say it to other people on tape.
Yeah, it was
You know
on
what I'm
our
saying?
show. He was calling people out, and yeah.
You know, he couldn't do that. I mean, this is just like some real straight up serious shit. No comedy, no bullshit. He could not be in my presence. He could walk in this room and sit down right here beside me and look at me in my face and even say the word nigga without getting him picked up off this fucking floor. See, because I mean, you know, when you get on internet, I mean, you can be the biggest, baddest motherfucker on the planet. You know what I'm saying? And you get the type of shit, somebody might think you 6'9", 400 pounds, and then they goddamn meet you in person, you be in a wheelchair. Well, you can be all big and bad then. You know what I'm saying? Because you on video. But he would never stand in my face and say no goddamn nigga. And not be able to tell nobody about it tomorrow.
Agreed. Aaron H. asks, on one interview DVD, you appear to be helping the Iron Sheik obtain drugs. How can you justify assisting an admitted drug addict in getting illegal drugs? Was he ever seen assisting him get drugs? I saw the video where Sheik was on the phone trying to get.
That was that was
That was the one that you
2007
did.
first
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
yes.
But that wasn't him.
Yes.
That was
Okay.
you, right?
The one
Okay.
that he did with Honky,
The one
That's not the.
when we did the thing, the one they talking about, the meat hungry shit.
Yeah.
Somebody was saying the Sheik wanted drugs. And I'm like, why everybody always looking at me? I don't know where to get that shit from. They said, Jack. I said, okay, I'm gonna go ask the first white girl I see. It's a true story. I went to around to the bar. First white girl I saw. I said, you know where I can get some fucking drugs? She said, yeah, my husband sell them. She said, well, I'll call him. He'll be around here in a minute on the bike. So I'm waiting on him. A few minutes later, I hear this nigga pedal up on the bike and get off and knock at the door. I open the door. He like, you still want them drugs? I'm like, where your motorcycle? He said, no, I'm on my bicycle. I said, well, call the motherfucker that got the drugs. I said, because I ain't about to get no motherfucking riding a bicycle no $100. I said, you crazy as hell. So did I, fuck you. Yeah, I did it. So fuck you. So what?
All right, I thought it was a different video. Okay.
Shit, the Sheik grown. He a grown ass man. If you want to get high, then fuck you. Yeah, so fucking what? How did I do it easy? Fuck you.
Racism.
This is Billy D.
Stereotypes.
Williams. Coke 45 malt liquor.
Remember those?
Would get a bitch drunk and have her upside down in your house with her ass up in the air, and you would be banging the shit out of her, and she won't even remember it.
Aaron
Hi,
H.
I'm Billy D. Huh?
Aaron H. Who are the three most racist people in the wrestling business?
Between Jeff Jarrett and his daddy, Cornette likes to throw the nigga word around. And probably Vince.
Vince.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Look at his locker room. He hired a bunch of black people when people started complaining about why you ain't got no black people in your locker room. And then when they stopped complaining, he let everybody go. They got him on backstage one day fucking with Cena, and he accidentally called somebody nigga.
Really?
And no, it's on YouTube.
I didn't see.
I'm a YouTube whore now.
How many black WWE champions have there been? Don't say The Rock, but how many pure black WWE champions have there been?
Heavyweight?
Dark skinned.
Yeah.
Niggas.
Pure black heavyweight champions. WWF.
I see your point.
Okay, so
Listen, SD Jones worked there for many years.
SD Jones got the quickest fucking pin in the history of WWF. What was it, like 17 seconds?
Against Bundy, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
9
I mean, you know, it's like how many? How many?
It was quick,
9
whatever. It was supposed
So-
to be 9, but yeah.
But I mean, you know, the business is what the business is. I mean, and that was the reason me and Mustafa quit Smoky Mountain. We knew our run was up anyway, but we did this little angle one night, and one of the security guys did something he wasn't supposed to do, and Cornette came back to the back, and they was having to hold him back because he was at the back there. Goddamn nigger, that fucking nigger. And I was like, and I stepped around the corner. I'm like, oh, so that's what it's like? I said, so I guess when me and Mustafa ain't around, I'm that bald head nigga, he that big goofy nigga, huh? I'm like, what the fuck? And we left right after that. Yeah. But I mean, they bro, that's how they are.
Yeah.
They is some racist mother, and I don't understand why. And it's been motherfuckers that done went on record and said black people don't belong in this business. What the fuck? I don't know how true it is, but I mean, me and Dusty Rhodes were cool forever, for a long time. But then, you know, I did the DVD and he don't like me no more.
Well, Dusty's black, though.
Yeah, well, he said that he was, when I think it was Bill Watts or somebody that said, go find me a black dude with charisma. And Dusty Rhodes said, I'll be your black man, baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. When he said, I need you to find me a black dude with charisma, I just said that. He said, I'll be your black man, baby, the dream, love the kids, and all this bullshit, and yada, 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 yada. What the fuck?
Jeff writes, did you vote for Obama just because he's black? Does he know you voted for Obama? I guess he does. Did you vote for Obama just because he's black, or do you actually think it's good economics to take money away from people who work hard and give it to people who sit on their asses all day and do nothing? If the Democratic Party caters to those who are poor, then wouldn't it be in their best interest to make sure you and I remain poor so we can continue to vote? Apparently this is CNN all of a sudden. But did you vote?
I'm about to say, how in the fuck this become some political shit?
I don't know. That's a ridiculous question. Bruce the Gooser. As an African-American wrestler.
No. Let's go back to Jeff.
You want to play Jeff? All right, go.
First of all, Jeff, it's the first black fucking president. Does it fucking... It's the first black president. The first. How many presidents was it before him?
40...
What is he, the 43rd?
42?
Okay, so
43.
by this being the first black, and then when he becomes the first black president, now everybody's like, oh, is it only because of? Like, you know, if it was some before him, then maybe it would have been a difference. But now, finally that it is one, now it's all this bullshit coming out like, oh, did y'all vote for him because of this or because of that? Who I voted for ain't your fucking business, but it sure wasn't a white dude. The fuck?
A lot of white people vote for him too, Jeff.
I know, bro, trust me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, I mean, yeah, it's like, I mean, they people come with that stupid ass shit. I heard this one, I mean, I didn't hear it, but I heard somebody say something about this lady. She was like, I'm moving to Alaska or to Canada.
That would have been funny if she said Alaska, just moved to Alaska to get away from the U.S.
Right. And I'm like, hold up. I'm like, because you got a black president, you're moving out of the country because you don't want to be told what to do by a black dude? Bitch, he don't directly tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what the fuck? You listen to what the fuck Bush went out there and did. Look what he did. He raped this motherfucking country up one side and down the other. And there's so much undone shit that this cocksucker done until it ain't fucking real. So you know what? Get a nigga his due. He can't make it no worse than what them motherfuckers done. And what he gonna do for the next 4 years is go in there and fix shit that he done, that Bush fucked up. For the next 16 years, they gonna be repairing shit. And then in about 4 or 5 presidents down the road, then it'll be down to equal. Now let's start rebuilding this motherfucker. Cause right now it ain't in a rebuilding stage. Right now it's in a repairing stage. You understand?
If it could even be done, yeah.
You know, it ain't enough motherfucking trees to goddamn make paper out of, to make fucking money out of, to goddamn get this country to get back even broke even. Not even making a comeback, it's just being broke fucking even.
Can't get any worse. We lost the stock market, the housing market, and the banks went under. What the fuck else could happen?
And then we fighting a fucking war that's been over. I mean, what the fuck? When you gotta go and ask a motherfucker, are you the enemy, and then shoot him? What kind of fucking war is that? You know what I'm saying? We was supposed to be after a motherfucker that didn't even blow up the goddamn fucking Twin Towers. And where the fuck is he at? But then you go and get a motherfucker like Saddam who had one fucking missile that wasn't even fucking working, and we gave him that. And that was just some unfinished shit that Bush's daddy, that Senior didn't get done. So then Junior goes in there and try to get done what Senior didn't even fucking do. And still fucked it up. And where's Bin Laden? Oh, he know where the fuck he is. And where he is right now is in an area where we don't want to go over there and fucking touch. Because they got missiles too. See, and they'll shoot them motherfuckers over here at us. So we you know what? We're like a selective country that goes and picks on motherfuckers.
Like the Crowbar thing. What's his name? Not Crowbar. Like the Devin Storm thing. They pick on the quiet guy in the corner.
Right. I mean, you look at motherfucking.
We're like Taz.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you go over there, you pick on a fucking country that's the size of fucking Texas. They ain't even a country, that's a neighborhood. And you go over there and you hit them bitches with bombs and you blowing shit up and tearing shit up. And you look at the size of that motherfucker, it's the size of fucking Texas. Go to North Korea and pick on them motherfuckers. They got shit aimed at us that'll wipe out this whole motherfucking United States. They got shit aimed at the North Pole that's got so much heat behind it and radiation, it'll melt that motherfucker. There won't be shit left in this bitch unless you got gills. We ain't fucking with them.
Point well taken.
And he said, yeah, we got missiles over here. What? And what? And they over there shooting them. See, look, they work.
Mm-hmm.
Why ain't we going over there? Shut the fuck up, Jeffrey.
Bruce the Goosa, as an African-American wrestler, were you ever approached by a promoter to use a lot of headbutts in your matches? You know, because of the long-standing wrestling stereotype.
Yes,
of black wrestlers having hard heads.
hard heads. No, I never was approached. I just did it because they said we had hard heads.
But they did the same thing for the Samoans, so one must ask, in wrestling fiction,
And Rikishi.
does the Samoan or the black man have the harder head? Like if Kishi, or actually probably his uncles, delivered a headbutt to SD Jones, who would take the bump?
Both of them. Because, see, wrestling, when we do it, we don't, like, really do it. See, we put the hand up. See, watch Hogan. Like, we throw a punch, he put the hand up, and then he hit the back of his hand. Yeah. So we do a head, we do like this.
Right.
It's fake. We're not really headbutting him. So his head is no harder.
Well, we get that, but if you were writing the story, who would take the bump?
It'll be a double hit.
Double knockout.
All
right. How about a bald white guy? Could he ever deliver a devastating headbutt? Probably not.
Never. Because, see, there are too many intelligent brain cells in a white guy's fucking head, and he got soft brain matter.
In the front?
And his frontal lobes.
While we're on racism, Rich H asks,
Rikishi, that long.
Was the WWE promoting Mark Henry as a silverback gorilla racist?
I didn't watch it. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. It was a gimmick that I believe it's attributed to Michael Hayes.
Michael Hayes, I heard somebody, Michael Hayes said, I got more nigga in me than you ever have in you.
That's what he said when Mark Henry approached him about the gimmick being racist.
So he was a gorilla?
Silverback gorilla.
Mark Henry was?
Yeah.
Okay, and this is my question. Is Mark Henry still there?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, well, now that was a stand that Mark Henry had to take. Being the strongest man in the world, I don't think I would have had no problem. I get my point over, like, if you call me that again, I'll knock your ass out.
Right.
But no, I want this job. I like this job, sir. Hello, my baby. Hello. That fucking WB frog.
Yeah.
Oh, the little. Oh, yeah. Okay. That'd be
That'd be a good fucking gimmick, Mark Henry. Paint your lips like that and be like, hello, my baby. Hello, my daddy. Hello, my red. Shut up. Mammy. What the fuck? I mean, you think I'm the strongest man in the world? I'm gonna let somebody like I'm gonna let anybody call me nigga in front of a locker room full of motherfuckers, and you gonna be able to tell, so you be in a coma.
Is Michael Hayes more black than Mark Henry?
Yes, he is, baby, and so is the Dream, baby.
Speaking of which, Box asks, hey Jack, do you think that fat fuck Dusty Rhodes was hating on you when he pulled that fine ass white rat?
Yes!
When he said,
thank you! You ain't got to say no more. I had this bitch in Wisconsin. The bitch was so goddamn fine, she walked up to the front of the line. They haven't even letting people in yet. And security let her in. They thought she was part of the show. She came in the back and sat over in the corner and crossed her leg in the locker room. And Thomas Raymond said, who the fuck is that? And I walked in, she said, hey baby! And ran over and grabbed me and hugged me. And Dusty said, and shook his head. And later on that night, he said if Dick Murdoch was alive right now, he'd have died.
when he said Dick Murdoch would be turning over in his grave.
See there? And I said, what the fuck did that? And then it all started coming together. I said, so what? Black people ain't supposed to be able to pull no fine white hoe? Let me tell you the difference between me and the next black dude. I know a bunch of niggas on this planet right now that set niggas back 400 years for showing up in the show with some big old fat ugly ass white bitch. Trust me. If I'm fucking a white girl, she gonna be the top of the line bitch. She will be the Escalade. She ain't gonna be no big old fat collard green eating bitches sitting at home and sucking on a motherfucking ham bone and all that bullshit and got food up under the bed. Oh no, mister. She gonna be like that bitch was that does roll like this. Cause dude, he was sick.
That's a great story.
And that bitch looked good. And he said, and Dustin said it. He's dick him right up. He's here to die again. I said, what the fuck? I said, why?
You know why.
Motherfucker. You just can't picture that big old black dick going up between them little pink ass fucking.
Hardcore. James Siragos, what is your definition of hardcore?
This bitch that finally caught my ass and I'm paying this bitch child support. That bitch is hardcore. Cause that bitch ran me. She tracked me down.
Ran you down.
She
That is
tracked
hardcore.
me down. And I got served.
The Hess Express.
Goddamn heifer.
I have a usual question for you. I want to know, what is your favorite hardcore weapon of all time?
Favorite weapon of all time?
It's a toss up between the crutch and the staple gun for real. Staple gun came along when I was at home on one of my many suspensions.
Many.
And I was stapling down some carpet pad.
You figured, hey.
And I was like, this would fucking work.
That's great.
True story. And then one day the dude, what's his name? He was Axel Ryden's partner. He got like, Paulie fired him like years ago. And he was in the locker room crying like a big old bitch. Like, all I've ever done for you, and I've given up my life, and I've given up my body, and I've ruined relationships, and I've done this, and I've just been there for you, and you gonna treat me like this, you gonna fire me? What was Axel's partner's name?
Ian.
Him!
Yeah.
He was crying, I mean, like a bitch. He was like, the Paulie, I'm gonna do this, the Paulie. And Paulie walked up to him and turned his head around backwards. And Paulie did this shit, bro, and everybody in the locker room, it was like a domino effect. He said, "You're fired!" And Ian walked out the door crying. One day, Ian came up to me and said, "Jack, you know I use staple gun first." I said, "Shut the fuck up." I said, "You non-working motherfucker." I said, you the prime example of a motherfucker that couldn't play in the big leagues, so you started your own. All right. I said, you a prime example. And I said, shut the fuck up. And it was true.
Ron Dixon asks you, who would win in a fight, you or Dog the Bounty Hunter?
Boy, please, shut the fuck up. I'd kill Dog and you. Shut up.
Evad, courtesy of WrestlingClassics.com. How can Evad get this past the Canadian border?
Tape it up under the truck or the car. Or get one of them magnets. You get like a real strong magnet. You can like put it on the side of the blade and stick it up under the car and it'll magnetize itself. Get over, take it out. Trust me, I've done it.
Hemi from Shipman Surgery, courtesy of the board at F4WOnline.com. Has Jack ever had a wrestler try to hurt him or punk him out in the ring?
Yeah. Dances with Dudley. He tried that shit on me one night. You got a knife? I left my knife. You got a knife on you? Dancing with Dudley.
No knife on me.
Tried it on me in the ring. I accidentally clotheslined and hit him in the nose. I told him I was sorry. Well, the next 5 or 6 minutes, he just kept knocking the shit out of me. He chopped me in the throat. Man. Hit me in the face. Man. He tried to belly me on the floor. I'm like, no. I said, now look, man, you done tated me back. You done gave me a goddamn receipt. Fuck that shit. So then he's like, I'm gonna get you back. Don't forget what you did to me. Goddamn it ain't over. I said, don't forget you said that. I said, don't forget. I said, I feel threatened. I'm threatened. Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. Up on the hill. I walked in the locker room.
We'll show off that.
I had this nightstick, and everybody thought it was rubber until that night. I hid behind the door. I had the nightstick in my hand. When he walked through the door, I jumped down and said, BAM! Right upside the head. Big ass pull apart. Taz comes up after it's all over with, and said to me, Jack, you know what you did was wrong. And I went at him, and he turned around and ran. Well, he didn't like run, but he like backed up. And then he let the locker room get between us. Then he acted like he wanted. And I was like, and I said, calm down, calm down. I said, everybody stop right there, stop right there. I said, move and let Taz through. I said, everybody just stop. Let Taz come through. And everybody moved. And Taz walked out the other door. I was ready to tear his ass up, man. And I got suspended after that. I got sent home. We was supposed to get strapped that Saturday night, and we got suspended. And when I get suspended, Mustafa automatically got suspended. It was like guilty by association. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he ain't even do nothing. It was just me. I'm like, sorry, you just part of the clan. If I go, you go. That's what it was. True shit. So to answer your question, dancing with Dudley.
There you go. Box. Hey, New Jack, I got a question to ask you. This, my equal. He called you my equal a lot. Have you ever lost a fight to anyone in the business? Ain't trying to start no bullshit heat or nothing.
Right.
It's just I heard this one story. To Sandman got at you when you was injured after you threw a beer at him. Yeah, I think he told this on our disc too. Threw a beer in the locker room and
yeah, Sandman
had a scrap with Sandman. Yeah.
He called me nigga.
Oh, is that what happened? Okay.
Yeah. The fucked up part with me and Sandman had been drinking. I mean, we've been getting high the whole weekend.
Right.
We rolled the show together. We sitting out there in the parking lot together, snorting. And he kept referring to this black shit. And every joke had a black shit attached to it. I'm like, what the fuck? And it was black, black, black.
You just doing it on purpose to get to you?
Yeah. And then I heard nigga. And I had a Heineken bottle in my hand. I was drinking Heineken. And I drunk it. And I threw it. I think I hit him up in the head somewhere. Mm. And we ran and hooked up. Started swinging. And then they pulled us apart.
All right.
But I was like, and we, you know, the next week we was back in the car again riding.
Well, that's how you do it.
So I was like, I didn't give a fuck. I said, I ain't gonna be too many more of them. They're gonna stop it right there. Hello?
Question from Anonymous, hiding under his bed. Because, he asks, why is it that you only bully wrestlers who can't defend themselves? Chad Austin, Gypsy Joe, Mass Transit, the Florida Bum. Isn't it kind of cowardly to only pick fights with those who can't defend themselves? Please don't kill me.
Bruh, okay. That is really not true, okay? Because I've had situations with other people, but these just so happen to be the ones that were the highest selling for DVDs. Chad Austin. Okay. Chad told me he booked for ECW. First time I met him. Came out of Smoky Mountain. Chad told me before this match, when I finally did come up here and meet him, he said, Jack, we're gonna do a match. Let's, do some public enemy shit. We brawl back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, we just got the tag strap. No. We was like, top fucking tag team here. And, your job is to be a piece of meat. So don't you start trying to tell me what we doing in this fucking match. So that's what he did. So, after the match was over with, no. I like to thank Chad for allowing me. I came up with my finish because of Chad. So, Chad, you really did help me. Because I was trying to, when me and Mustafa left Smoky Mountain, my finish was just like a lame ass, he launched me off headbutt. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3. But I said, I gotta come up with a finish that's gonna be more convincing. I said, cause this kid, Chad, done tried to just make me look like a little fucking bitch by telling me what we gonna do in our fucking match. And he was just like a piece of fucking meat to me. Mm-hmm. And I said, Mustafa, think of something. He says, Jack, what up? So I said, what about a chair, a diving chair? He said, what do you mean? I said, well, not in my head. I said, just like that. So when I did the dive, I just stuffed the chair and tried to mash his fucking face down through the fucking mat with the fucking chair. And then I got over the chair and just started beating the shit out of him. So Chad, I would like to thank you but aggravated me to a point where I came up with a finish that really got me over. That's what happened to Chad. Mass Transit didn't have no business being in the fucking ring with me. Same thing. Hey, this is my first match in front of more than 20 people or 50 people, but my dad is in the audience, so I need to get over because I'm from this area. Now, I don't mind y'all doing all this shit to me, but I got to get over too. I want to get color, but I ain't never did it. Would you do it for me? You asked me to cut you. You didn't say that deep or that long or that long. You just said, I wanted color. I told Paulie, this will be a night that you'll remember for a long time.
Did you really? Yeah.
I swear to God I did. I said in 10 years, and it's been more than 10 years, I said they will still be talking about what's gonna happen to this kid. And we doing a fucking thing right now. Talking about this, and this happened in what, 96?
Mm-hmm. Oh, God. Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
85 maybe.
So it's been 13, 14 fucking years. So he asked for it, I gave it to him. Gypsy Joe, same fucking thing. He headbutted me in the nose, I beat the shit out of him. Whoever the fuck else the guy in Boston. So I mean, you know, hey dude, look, get the fuck over it. Get my butt in the bed. Don't worry about it. I ain't gonna bother you. But look, what happens to you is what you ask for, that's what you get. So go fuck yourself.
Aaron H. You got 3 bullets and no repercussions. Who gets them?
A baby mama, a nigga named Sam that snitched on me, I went to prison. I was gonna say Missy, but no, I ain't gonna say Missy. Oh God!
There's got to be someone else that if you had no repercussions, you would like to see off the face of this earth.
Well, see, they want they want me to answer that by way of wrestling.
Well, your baby mama ain't a wrestler.
I know, but she was the first one came to mind.
That's okay. So that's her. Sammy,
Sam, damn it,
motherfucker.
and the other baby mama.
Okay. If we had to get rid of all the baby mamas, how many bullets?
3
would we
wrestling
need?
bullets. Who the 3 wrestling?
Who are the 3? Okay, fine. 3 wrestling bullets. Go ahead.
No.
Nobody, right? Not that important.
Dude, I mean, honest to God, I mean, you know, I made this shit gave me a fucking headache. I made money with these motherfuckers. You give me the piss water over there. No. I made money with these cats. I mean, you know, I don't talk bad like about a lot of people. A lot of people don't talk bad about me. But I understand something. A lot of these motherfuckers is the reason why I own property. Well, I got cars and trucks and all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Understood.
So, I mean, you know, I ain't that mad at these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Not to a point where I want to kill them. Because if I had to kill them, then they wouldn't even be around and I couldn't buy my next shit.
Controversy.
I don't want no more of this. Just give me
New Jack, Jimmy James here. I know another question I asked you about working the indies. I got one in particular I want to ask you about. Pro Wrestling Explosion. I think it was an indie booked by Feinstein, something to do with the Atlas security guys, running at the arena. You were booked on a show. There was an incident that went down. I read it had something to do with the lady at the concession stand, maybe. This is what I heard. I don't know the actual truth to anything, but heard the cops were called. You were ejected from the place. I don't know. Could you elaborate on the situation? Give us your side of the story. Inquiring minds want to know. Keep shooting.
Okay. You know Eric Sims?
Yeah, I've heard of Eric Sims.
He hangs out with the Sheik, right?
Yeah.
And Eric, you know, he's my agent on the East Coast. He gets me booked on like some shit, you know. When he'd call me, Jack, you feel like making an appearance? I'd be like, yeah, well, if it's worth it, I'll do it. I'm gonna tell you what really happened. That motherfucker Eric picked me up, and he met me at Tony Luke's, and we was at that bar. And Eric kept buying me drinks.
I don't believe it already.
I'm telling you what happened.
Motherfucker never reached into his pocket. But
Eric kept buying me fucking drinks.
whoever paid him to bring you in was buying him the drink. Was buying.
God damn it. And I had, look, 2 Long Islands. Then 3 Long Islands. Then 4 Long Islands. Then 5 Long Islands. But Eric had also bought me a goddamn half a liter of some vodka. Absolute. Eric did. Eric Sims. So Eric, did I mention it was Eric Sims?
Yeah.
He went. I was at the show. At the arena. Which I am no longer allowed to go in the arena. I got banned from the arena. Me. Oh, fucking. What camera am I on? It don't matter. That one? Well, you should have told me.
Whichever one you look at, we'll cut it in, so go ahead.
So this is what happened. Eric got me drunk. Eric Sims. Eric kept buying me Absolute, and I was so I ran out of Sprite. I ran out of Chaser. Right? Mm-hmm. Oh Lord. So I ran out of Chaser. So I went down to the concession stand and I asked the girl, I said, do y'all got Sprite? And I think she handed me a 7-Up. And I said, how much is it? And she had this attitude. Like, I'm like, she said $1 or whatever. But I gave her $2 or $3, whatever. And I said, I want popcorn with it. So whatever it was I gave her was like $1 too much. And instead of her just saying, you gave me too much, or just take the dollar like I would have done and stuck it in the pocket, she gave it back to me and said, you can't count? So then that's when it started. So now we going back and forth, yada, 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 right? She bet me, I'm at her, whatever. Well, I'm the owner's daughter, whatever the fuck. I'm like, bitch, so what? So I got my fucking Sprite or whatever the fuck it was they gave me, and I walked back up to the thing, and I mixed it in with my drink, and I started drinking some more. So I ran out of Chaser again. So I went back down there again. So this time when I went down, her little boyfriend came up and said, I don't appreciate you talking to my girl the way she said you did, and you better not come back down here, yada, 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 whatever, whatever. So we had little words. And before I could goddamn even think twice about this shit, I had my boots on. Now, mind you, a match was going on in the ring. Mm-hmm. I had my boots on, but they wasn't tied up, and the tongue was out, whatever. So the little motherfucker runs up and he pushes me. And I fell. And Steve Carino's in the ring trying to have a match. Now you hear all this commotion over here at the concession stand. Now the little dude jumps up and I chase him around through the building out the front door. Doing a match. A few minutes later, a couple cops show up. Then another wave of cops come in. And when it was over with, it was about 25, 30 cops in the locker room. But this little bitch I was with at the time, she ran to me and grabbed me and hugged me and, no, baby, no, no, no. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I didn't realize there was a cop trying to taser me. And she
jumped in front.
Yeah. So they ended up telling me that Roger told them that he didn't want me in the building no more. So they escorted me to my car. And I got in the car and I left. And that was the last time I went in the arena. But I don't think all this shit would have happened if Eric Sims, wherever he is, if Eric Sims, the one that be with the Sheik all the time, if he wouldn't have bought me all that shit, we wouldn't have had this problem. And you know what? Because of Eric, I am no longer allowed in the arena because Eric know that my tolerance for drinking is very low. And he didn't have to do this shit to me. And I cannot go back into a building that I made a lot of money off of, and I had fans and rats and all kind of shit, and I am no longer allowed back in the building because, see, Eric should have been more fucking responsible than to have me drinking like a fucking fish, goddammit.
I want to rebut that.
Well, but this also kind of started over Sprite and 7-Up, didn't it? Wasn't this the deal? You wanted the one, and they were
I
only
wanted Sprite.
And she ended up giving you a 7-Up?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that leads us to see if you can tell the difference between the Sprite and the 7-Up. We need to know the answer to this. Give me a cup. Give me 2 cups. I won't have you drink out of the bottle, out of the can. Be civilized about this.
does it make if I know the difference?
Because that's what this started over, right? This started over the fact that she was trying to give you the 7-Up, and you wanted the Sprite, right? So here we go. Here's A. Oh, for Christ's sake. How did I do with my life? All right. Here we go. This is A. This is Chaser A.
Boom, chakalaka, boom, boom.
Okay, keep that in your palette there, and this is B. Here it is. What was A?
This one.
What was it, Sprite or 7-Up?
Sprite.
Let's see. Look at that. You got it. He does know the difference.
I know my motherfucking drink, man.
This guy ever asked you for a 7-Up, do not try to give him a Sprite.
And you know what? We gonna contact Coca-Cola and we gonna do a real fucking commercial, and it's gonna be on some shit where we recreate that whole scene, and I'm gonna be sitting in the police car and he ain't gonna talk about all I wanted was a Sprite. and you hear your voice come on and say, based on the true story.
Exactly. That's it. We're shooting it later.
Tell me that will not be a fucking commercial.
Don't laugh. We're shooting it later. Another video.
Shit.
New Jack,
What?
the Bulldozer from the Off the Mark show. I got a question for you. Is Gypsy Joe retarded? And if so, why do they allow him to wrestle?
Man, that match me and Gypsy Joe had was going alright till your head butted me in my nose. Look at my nose. Look at my nose. Get a close-up view. I got a big fucking nose. This ain't normal. I have a very large fucking nose. And when Gypsy Joe head butted me in that motherfucker, it grew. And my eyes watered. And that's when that whole match went south. I didn't have to hit the old man in the head with the bat. But it made good for DVD sales. It really did. And it's been one of my top DVD sellers of all time. So if anybody ever wants to do a good DVD with me or a match with me, well, if you could, and you want to be like the top seller, just get in the ring and do some dumb shit to me. And I'll guarantee you that the DVD will be top sale, because I will make sure that I cut the shit out you and do something back to you. Ask Gypsy Joe, Mass Transit. Who else? The Hunter dude that stayed down in Florida. I was in jail for that motherfucker almost a month.
Rob Samsel from Meriden, Connecticut. New Jack, I was mere feet from you at the Danbury, Connecticut ECW show when something obviously went wrong between you and Vic Grimes. Both of you came super close to being a huge ass blood smudge on the concrete. Question is, what exactly happened that night? And who did what to make you guys almost both kill yourselves?
Okay, nobody made us do that. Paulie asked us to take a double bump. Double bump. But he wanted me and Vic to fall at the same time. I got to the show a little bit late. I asked Vic, I said, did you go up on the scaffold and check to make sure everything was right? Vic said, yeah. Come to find out, Vic never did. So when me and Vic got up there, you talking about 600 pounds of flubber between the two of us. And it had one beam about this wide, stretched all the way across. When we got up on the motherfucker, you heard something say, and you heard that steel stretcher. I said, Vic, let's go. He said, Jack, I can't, I'm scared. I said, Vic, we on pay-per-view, and this is what we talking about. I said, Vic, we on pay-per-view. I said, let's go. He said, Jack, I can't, I'm scared, man, I can't. I said, on 3. I've jumped through a couple of tables in my day. Just a couple. In your mind, you draw up this picture. 2 tables. Hit your first one, it breaks the fall, cushions for the second one. In your mind. Reality, 2 tables. Hit the first one, you don't know which way it's going. You have no idea. Because you don't know if the leg's going to fold in, out, where the fuck, if it's going to kick the table out, where the fuck. And I knew this. Vic didn't, because I'm experienced. But I allowed Vic to call this fucking thing, and instead of me overruling him and calling the match the way I knew it, I allowed him to overrule me and say, let's do 2 tables. By him being scared to fall with me, well, number 1, fucked it up. Number 2, when we fell, if it had been table to floor, that's all it would have been. But because we set 2 tables up, when I hit the first table, it allowed him to catch up with me because it broke my fall. He did that fucking awkward ass flip that he does, and it put his back up against my head, which drove my head to the floor, and I smacked my fucking head on the floor, and I cracked my skull, and I was having grandma seizures for the next month, every day. And in turn, I lost my sight in my right eye. That's why I wear glasses now. Paulie wanted a double bump. Vic thought of something else.
Right.
And the results was that. Well, am I mad about it? I didn't like it. I didn't like being blind for like almost 5 months.
Hybrid fan on Wrestling Classics asked if you still hate Vic Grimes.
I never hated him.
Okay.
I mean, it was a dumbass. I mean, bro, I look at this shit from all angles. Vic didn't make me go up there with him. He was real careless on what he did and the way he handled it. But what pissed me off about Vic was he started trying to take credit for it. He started trying to take credit for, I hurt New Jack. See what I did to him? And that's where we had the problem. That's when I decided I wanted to go to XPW where he was at. That's when I said we're going to do a scaffold match. That's when I told Rob Black Vic was getting thrown off. I didn't give a fuck who won, heads or tails. And when we got up there, again, he wanted to go through 12 tables. In his mind, it was bump, 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 bump. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, I'm trying to hit that pole. I'm trying to throw him to that pole. But they had moved the ring back about another 6 to 8 feet moved the scaffold back before the show started. So when I threw him to the point where he just hit that fucking rope.
The rope. Yeah.
Okay. But I was in control of Vic living and dying, and I let Vic live. I don't hate him.
Okay.
I got a check every month.
Another video?
Fuck.
New Jack,
What?
what's up? I know you've had some legal trouble in your wrestling career.
No, I haven't.
Can you tell us about the night? I believe it was in Georgia, maybe Florida. I'm not positive,
Florida.
but you were at an indie show and something went wrong and you cut a motherfucker up and you did a little jail time. What happened with that?
About to get
Did that
him.
cost you a possible chance to join in the WWE? Let me know, man. Let me know.
I'm about to get him now. There's a promoter down in Jacksonville. He goes by the name of CB King. CB King. He reminds you of Thunderbolt Patterson, but when he does his promos, he talks like Dusty Rhodes. He even went to one of Dusty Rhodes' shows and told Dusty Rhodes he was my uncle. But he was talking to Dusty Rhodes like he was Dusty Rhodes. And Dusty said, Jack, it's some dude out there talking about he your uncle. And he came to see you. He said, but what's fucked up is he's talking to me like he's me. He said, I said, what you talking about? He said, this is what he said. Dusty Rhodes, I'm CB Kane. I'm New Jack's uncle. And I'm here to see New Jack. Dusty Rhodes said, well, take your ass over there and get a ticket. Buy it. He said, I'm CB Kane, if you will. To Dusty. This is a straight shoot to Dusty. Yes. So, I go to Jacksonville. Oh, he bought a ticket for the show. I go to Jacksonville. He said, Jack got you in a match with this dude, hardcore match, whatever. He been around the business, yada, yada, whatever. I'm like, all right, whatever. Come to find out, he was one of the ring crew guys. But his biggest fantasy was, I want to have a match against New Jack. So CB Kane, if you will, puts this guy in the ring with me. We go to lock up. And I knew it was a problem from before the show when he kept trying to come to me when I was like, what you want to do in the match? I don't give a fuck. I'm just whatever you want to do, I want to do. I don't give a fuck. So I go out in the audience, I'm sitting there talking to some people, and he comes out there and wants to sit behind me. Jack, I got a couple spots I want to do in the match. I said, dude, Kayfabe, he's a well, there's the red light, it went off. I'm like, oh, buddy. So then he comes back and he says, well, I go in the back. And I'm telling him, we can do whatever. I'm like, whatever. He was like, whatever, I don't give a fuck. As soon as we locked up, I knew this match was not going, it didn't have a finish. I knew it didn't have a finish. Prior to that, because he had pissed me off so bad, I went in the back and started snorting coke. My favorite. And drinking Absolute straight.
The start of every good evening
Yes.
with Jack.
Yes. So we lock up, he backed me up in the corner, and he shoot me a right straight, just boom. And I'm like, oh, motherfucker, this shit supposed to be fake. And he hit me again, boom, dead in the face. And I'm like, and honestly, God, I felt my eye swelling. That's all he hit me. I felt this shit swelling. And he tried to run into me and pick me up and dump me. And I hooked him. And he didn't know I had one of the knives to the Wolverine claw I had broke off my claw. I didn't mean to. And I had taped and I had it in my fucking pocket. And I backed him up. He backed me up in the rope. He was still trying to jack me up. And I just started stabbing him. It's going to sound familiar in a minute. And I kept stabbing him. 12, 13, 14, 15. I cut him across the face, the back of the neck. I stuck him in his side. And I cut him. Just wherever I saw meat, I cut it. But one of CB Kane's boys called 911. We got a stabbing at this show. A black guy stabbed a white guy. The black guy's wearing camo. So that's how they took the call. So they showed up at gunpoint.
Right.
Instead of him saying it was a match and whatever, they just thought it was just two people randomly and somebody got in a fight and the black dude stabbed the white dude. They came in at me at gunpoint.
Are you out of the ring at this point when the police come?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now dude laying on the floor bleeding because I'm stepping on his neck. You can see blood just squirting everywhere, right? CB Kane comes out and he's like, Jack, calm down. Well, now this nigga goes on the news. And they was talking to him about what happened at the show. He said, I don't know why New Jack did that. My show's family shows. We don't do that hardcore stuff down here. But then he been telling people he's my nephew. I'm his nephew for like years. But he's like, he don't know why I did it. We don't do that kind of shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? He goes on on TV and in the newspaper says this shit. I go to jail for 20 and 21 days. CB Kane is riding around Jacksonville in my fucking Mercedes like it's his when I'm in jail. Didn't bring me a fucking dime while I'm sitting in jail.
Your own uncle.
Yeah, my goddamn uncle. They said family gets you every time.
Terrible.
You know what I'm saying? So, the hunter dude, the guy that I stabbed, he came out to the jail. Jack, I drop the charge if you train me, and we could take this on the road. We could be like, Hunter dude is after New Jack for revenge for the stabbing. They just offered me 12 years to serve, 85% of it in the state of Florida, prison. I said, you want to take this on the road? You got to drop charges first. He said, I'll do it. I said, it's done. Me and you on the road, fuck it. But go drop the charges. And as soon as he dropped the charges, when I went to court, they dismissed it. I got the fuck out of Florida.
Yeah.
And ain't been back. See? And that was the result of fucking with some old bootleg ass nigga with his old jackleg ass promotion down in Florida.
Wow.
But that hunter shit, the dude that I stabbed, that's what that shit was all about, and that was why I fucking did it. Cause that cocksucker punched me in my goddamn eye.
Okay.
Now I didn't have to do that, but I did it. And you know what? It was like my top selling DVD. I'm always thinking money.
Mike, the Seaman Demon, and Jay Zaretsky both ask you, can you discuss what happened between you and Brian Pillman at the ECW Arena back in 1996?
Oh, that's quick. Brian Pillman, for no reason, went out to the ring and was cutting a promo by Rob Van Dam. Brian referred to me and Mustafa as them niggas in the back who think they tough. I tried to go for Brian. Paulie did the run in, took me down. They did the pile on the rabbit. They took Brian out the fucking building, took him to the hotel, got his fucking shit, and went to another hotel and got him out on the next plane the next morning. The end.
Hybrid fan courtesy of WrestlingClassics.com. Do you regret the mass transit incident?
No! It was good for DVD sales. And I'm still selling the best of New Jack. You can buy it anytime, anywhere. And Eric Sims did get me drunk.
Well, I think this is a fine place to wrap up the interview. And I want to thank you for your candor, as always. I hope you had fun.
Coke 45 malt.
Thank you.
Williams.
Thank you. And thank you,
Missy,
for shooting.
I love you.
Can't end the DVD on that note.
No.
Thanks.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
on Raw to discuss this outrageous conduct of their WCW athlete Chris Benoit and trying to injure purposely. And of course, it was the other way around. And there's somebody knocking on the door.
Want to see who it is?
Yeah, why the fuck not?
There it is. Why can't we be friends? 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 I know you're working for the CIA. Oh yeah! And I forgot the rest of the words. But fuck them today. Why can't we be friends? Oh shit!
Let me stand up. Let me stand up. You could not have done anything else
Let me move
but
you.
that silliness that I wouldn't come here. All right. I'm too old for this.
Me too.
Mustafa, and you're older than both of us. All right. I'm all right. A little fatter, a little older.
You too.
Why can't we?
I know, man. Hey, look, it is what it is.
It is.
You know? Fuck. So goddamn it. That's all I can say. It is what the fuck it is. And there you go.
What have you guys been doing?
Nothing.
Well, good, because that's the same thing I've been doing. I like it more than doing something.
I don't do
Because when you do something, you generally get in fucking trouble. When you do nothing, people leave you alone.
That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
fuck up.
You can't.
Well, you gotta look at it. I look at it like this. I wasn't happy about getting hurt with Vic, but after I did, I get a check every month.
That's right. You guys fucking fell off the roof.
Yeah. So I've been getting paid for it.
Well, good.
It was some. I had some sense to get some kind of insurance.
Okay.
So I'm all right. I'm not doing this shit no more. I told him I'll stand on the side and cheerlead your ass, but I'm not doing it. I can't do it.
You still in Atlanta? Are you both still in Atlanta?
Yeah, I'm in Sacramento.
Sacramento,
I'm in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah.
So basically, y'all moved as far apart from each other as you could without getting on a boat, right?
Yeah. For the hey, stop. Hey, you got this on tape?
Yep.
You do?
Oh my God. This is a historic occurrence.
No, all bullshit aside, then we going down to South Street and tell some lies and make some promises we can't keep.
Put somebody's down there.
For the record. All right, I'm about to squash all the silly shit now for the fucking record. I always give credit where it's due. We started out, the big break that we got was with Cornette. He put us on TV. He did the mainstream thing with us on TV. And it was a chance that was being taken. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I give anybody fucking credit. If it wouldn't have been for what he did, it would have been a lot harder. We could have probably got it later on, but he took a chance on us. I had no idea what the fuck he was taking a chance on. And to me, being black and beating a white boy in Tennessee was heel enough. But then he came up with the idea, be racist. So we did. And I didn't know. I had no fucking idea what the fuck I was doing at the time because I thought the shit was funny to just be riding them down the highway fucking with white people. I had no idea they had never seen black people in person until I showed up. And I had this one white dude, I swear to God, I'll never forget, I don't know what town, but this little kid comes up, he says, "New Jack, nice meeting you." And he said, and he walked away. I said, "Come here." He said, "I'm sorry." I said, "What'd you just do that for?" He said, "Well, my daddy said if you get close enough to one of y'all, it'll rub off."
Oh,
And I said, "You little big head motherfucker, come here." You know what I'm saying? And it was like, that was the kind of shit that we had went through and I had never been exposed to. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, we had our differences. Everybody fucking do. You know what I'm saying?
and I gotta say one thing also. Nobody else, when you came out that night in Knoxville the first night and cut that promo, and Jim Ross is standing there, and he had no idea. He knew, but he just still didn't have much idea what was about to be unleashed. Nobody else could have talked that thing over like you did.
I didn't know what I was about to say. I didn't know.
He had no. It was live every night. Every live round's coming because he didn't know what he was going to say. And I can't tell
See, I
him what
told
to.
you.
I can tell him
Remember any of it?
what to act like, but I can't tell him what to say because how am I going to tell him what to say? How am I going to talk like New Jack and write New Jack shit?
Cornette told me. He said, the first promo we did on actual TV before Jim Ross, after Jim Ross, when he told me, he said, just go out there and just go. Just make white people mad. And I'm sitting back there like, what can I say to make them mad? So I talked about us. The NAACP was picking on us. I called them a bunch of fucking yard monkeys, whatever the fuck, and yada yada yada, whatever. And we did the shit. And I was like, one thing that I realized, I don't know why white people hate so bad when you tell them to kiss somebody's ass and you're black. Kiss my black ass. For some reason they fucking hated that. And that's what I ended the promo with. And I was like, Ricky and Robert, yada 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 yada, kiss my black ass. And everybody was like, it was almost like being up under a bed and you coming out. Boo! They just started booing like real hard. They did not fucking like us. You know what I'm saying? And in the first promo, and Jim Ross sitting there like, motherfucker, go to commercial. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it was just not shit playing.
It was believable.
What was the warning?
It was
What
also
the
a
warning
little
thing?
bit too far ahead of its time. To be quite honest with you, it
I mean,
was a little
dude,
too far ahead of its
No,
time.
it wasn't out of control. It was
No, it was just too far ahead of its time.
Get out of control.
It was just okay, and then the first promo I did to really set the fucking stage when we did that, I think it was Warrensville, some shit like that. We went up
You
there.
remember better than I do.
Yeah, but that was one item. I'm gonna tell you why I remember it. Because we rented a van. It was 5 of us, and the cop was so mad. He told us to drive, don't go through the town, but drive the back way. And the back way was a mountain that was a swirl for like 4 hours. And we wore the fucking brakes out going around this motherfucking mountain. I was like, if we run off this bitch, they'll find us in like 2012.
It wasn't even on the map, that one place we went to. You remember that one place we was talking about? We
But
wasn't on the
the
map.
thing that we did, he came back, and see, this is something that a lot of people don't understand. A lot of shit that we was doing, cutting promos, it was his idea. People don't realize it, but the first fucking promo saying it was always this, oh, New Jack, the reason, no. He said it, right? And honest to God, the first promo, he said, Jack, go out there and cut a promo. And I said, on what? He said, just do your thing. Say something that made white people mad. And I'm sitting there like, well, I could go on for that shit for fucking years. He said, say something about OJ and turn around and walk back off. And I'm cutting this, this was on you. I'm cutting the promo. And he said, when I got down, to the little thing, and I said, I want to give a special shout out to my homeboy OJ Simpson. Keep up the good work. 2 less to worry about. And that set the stage for motherfuckers was coming at us like, what the fuck? Well, see, to me, I hadn't been in the business but a year. So I didn't know no better. I didn't know I was going to be in touch with motherfucking cops still calling black people colored. And like, we don't allow that shit up here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, we had our differences with like a whole bunch of shit. You know what I mean?
We had to put a graphic up. The views of the gangsters are not necessarily the views of this television station.
Right, but see, the thing was, it relieved them of being responsible for us. But with the fella with the whole freedom of speech thing, it said we was allowed to do it. So now it was just that fucking gray area we was swinging in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said, and I would sit at home sometime and just think about shit. What the fuck can I do, or what the fuck can I say to just piss the people the fuck off, and not knowing, because I hadn't been in the business that long, not knowing that what I was doing was like committing fucking suicide. I thought the shit was funny, and it was just one night. Now I remember this part too. Now I remember somebody just sent me the promo on fucking MySpace.
Yeah.
With me, you, and D-Lo, and you called us that night. We had left the building, and you said, Jack, I've been in this business for a long time. And you said, I have never had anybody to show me out or show me up on a promo. He said, but tonight, you got me. He said, I'm going to give you credit. He said, you got me. And the promo, man, why I don't remember important shit like a court date, but I remember this shit. He came out and said, let me manage you. He said, it was an angle. He said, let me be your manager. Let us meet, yada yada. It's New Jack. I could take you places and yada yada. I managed the Midnight Express and rock and roll, whoever it was, and yada yada. We do your thing. He said, when you don't know when to cheat, when not to cheat. And for some fucking reason, the only comeback I had was, and I could never say ancestors. I would say sisters. And sisters, right? And I said, the gangsters are black owned and black operated. And I said, every time you get some black people doing something, white people try to show us up. You know what I'm saying? I said, it was some shit about, we did the fucking New Edition, y'all had new kids on the block. We did MC Hammer, y'all got Vanilla Ice. It was just like a bunch of crazy shit, right? And I said, you brought our ancestors over here, chained to the bows of a slave ship, yada, yada, yada. We built the city up, built the fucking country up, and now y'all want us to go back. And I said, we ain't from over there anyway, so we just went on up. And that's what he called me on. And then I was like, well, it meant something to me for him to say the shit, because he was like, even though it was a work, it was business. To be told that, I outdid the motherfucker that's been known for cutting fucking promos, it meant a lot to me, knowing I had been in the business, but now a little over a year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I've always just been like, I don't deny nobody the credit. When it got down to the end, when we wasn't seeing eye to eye, we got the fuck on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I've always said, regardless, I'm too old to be mad at people about stupid shit. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm older than you are.
Dude, I'm about to turn 47.
I already turned 47.
Okay, well, I'm about to turn 47. It's just a point where it's like, with the shit that we did, it made it a lot easier going through Smoky Mountain, because it put us on the map. I've always been told I don't know when to say something and when to be quiet. Well, so fucking what? That's just the way it is. You know what I mean? I had a child psychiatrist told me I was fucking crazy. I said, no, you crazy. And I was 12. So if I'm telling this motherfucker he crazy, if I'm telling my mama, bitch, go jump off a bridge, then you really think I give a fuck about telling somebody else, you know what I'm saying, how I really honestly personally feel about you? So that's how the shit went, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I done said shit bad about him. He done said shit bad about me. We done all talk bad about each other, whatever the fuck case may be. But like I said, when it came down to business, the business was there. You know what I mean? When it came down, and I mean, like with him, Ricky, Robert, Tracy, I told you that last night. We all made money, and they all taught me a whole lot, because with Ricky and Robert, they taught me so much shit in this fucking business, I could never take it away. But it wouldn't have happened if we hadn't went down there. And he took a chance on us. You know what I'm saying? And it planted a fucking seed for us to become whatever the fuck we became. And now that y'all done got old, I'm getting the fuck on. It's just all good. I mean,
Hey, wait a minute. Do I have to split my fucking payoff for the shoe?
Hey, look. I'm just filling in the fucking gaps, goddammit. You guys, look, this is a commercial. So, but hey, man.
Wait a minute. I just coughed.
I know, right? There you go.
There you go. Jack, hey.
Good to see you, man.
It's good to see you, too.
And I mean,
hey, you know what? That's all I wanted to hear, and I'll tell you something you want to hear. You meant a lot to me. You were a talent. And I apologize when we got, like you said, when we got sideways. I don't want to disrespect the fact that you guys worked hard for the whole time you were there, and you did a lot of shit that probably, with the one time we had the street fight with the Heavenly Bodies, and we ended up fighting out the back of the Knoxville Coliseum and across the street and up the hill toward the Marriott Hotel, and there are cars coming down the street, seeing two white guys in fucking swimming trunks and a guy in a red and blue fucking jacket suit with a tennis racket whacking the heck out of these three black guys that are running like they just stole something, and they're honking the horn. They're calling the police on cell phones, and there's one guy with a video camera chasing after it.
That's when Carluzzo came down, and I was there for that. That was great.
Thank you, Eric Sims, the topper. Is gonna jump in. But yeah, you were there for that. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Fucker.
And Mustafa, even though we never said anything bad about each other, I love you too.
I love you too, man.
Hey, man, we out. We going down to South Street.
Give my regards to everybody that you fuck with down there.
I will.